People scare better when they're dying. What's going on? It's your man Brian, back for another episode of the Spaghetti Western Jamboree. Tonight we are talking about one of the last spaghetti westerns to be made, actually. This was in 1977, and the movie is Mannaja, also known as A Man Called Blade, by the great Sergio Martino. Like every other genre boom in the Italian movie industry, the spaghetti westerns came and they went, and they hung out for a long time. I mean, you're talking about a genre that pretty much started in like 65 and wrapped up around 1977. So disco was in and the spaghetti westerns were out, and they were largely being replaced with the latest trend, which was crime dramas. They were known as poliziotteschi. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. And one of the stars of those was Maurizio Merli, better known as the Italian Charles Bronson. And, Death Wish had been a really big hit in Italy. So was Dirty Harry. So suddenly you had, and also, of course, in Italy, you had the Years of Lead, where there was like this massive crime wave. So there was a desire for these movies where you had these police are up against the system, it's like the system, they're letting these punks go. And if they just let me loose, I'd fuck them up, and, so on and so forth. But he did make one spaghetti western, and it was tonight's movie, Mannaja, A Man Called Blade. Funny thing about the late spaghetti westerns, they're generally referred to as the Twilight spaghettis. They have a very unique feel to them and a very unique mood. I'm talking about Koepp is probably the most famous. Then there's this, and also California, which is a pretty grim little spaghetti. These movies were successful, not enough to bring the genre back. But it was, I can't say that tonight's movie is the actual last spaghetti western ever made for sure, but it's close. right? So there may have been one after this or something, or two after this. I mean, they made 600 of the damn things, right? And my collection consists of roughly half of those. So, hey, what's up, Garfield's Bizarre Adventure in the chat? What's going on? Oh, did I take inspiration from the spaghetti westerns for Six Gun Gorilla? Yeah, for sure. I mean, the spaghettis were something I fell in love with when I was a kid, but I didn't deliberately give it a spaghetti feel. I wanted it to kind of be its own thing. But, you know, the spaghettis had such a weird atmosphere that, you know, Weird West as a genre just kind of, I don't know, goes, you know, could be in the same genre as the spaghetti westerns. And Six Gun is very much a weird western. And oh yeah, we got Mark Greenwell. What up? From the channel when the Kung Fu Theater was recommended to my feed. Is that show going to be a regular schedule? Also love the Italian westerns, especially with, of course, Lee Van Cleef. You know, I'm playing it all by ear. Basically, what I've been wanting to do is kind of do, you know, we normally would do the horror movie club, right? Because I was like, okay, well, if I'm going to do a regular stream on YouTube, which I want to do, what can I talk about in my sleep? And I was like, horror movies, right? Well, what else could I also talk about in my sleep? Spaghetti westerns. What else? Kung fu movies. I don't know. Maybe we'll eventually split these into separate streams. We'll see how popular they are. We'll see how people respond to them. And you folks, let us know what would you what do you want to see? Anyway, enough of my yapping. Let me bring on one of my co-hosts, and that is is he even at his computer now? Last time he just dipped out like Mike Baron style, right? Not even Mike Baron style. Mike Baron, when he bops out, at least is like, bye. But there's a guy who's not gonna just bop out on me without saying later. What's up, Pops?
In the house, and I ain't going anywhere. I did want to say, Brian, that I like switching back and forth, like every third week is a different show.
Yeah.
But if one of these shows becomes more popular than the other two, you might consider doing it separately. For
sure.
Hi, everybody.
And then of course we got my boy Preston, but of course Preston is so damn happening. He's blown up so big. He's blown up so big he can't just be hanging out. What's up, dude?
I need to charge you to have my face on your stream from here on out.
Damn it!
The star of Blade was really good, dude. Like, he reminded me of Clint Eastwood, like, big time. You know, like,
yeah.
I don't know if Clint Eastwood like modeled himself after this guy, or this guy modeled himself after Clint Eastwood. But it was
the other way around. He kind of modeled himself after a combination of Eastwood and Bronson, right?
Yeah, he succeeded.
Because no, for sure. And we're gonna get into Maurizio Merli. Okay, we're gonna get into it because the great Chuck Dixon just the other day posted a review on his Facebook page for, I think, Roma Violente, which is, Violent Rome, which is one of the Maurizio Merli movies. And basically, if you watched, you know me, Italian movie fiend, and I love like all the different genres from like the 60s and the 70s and the 80s, right? And so you had the Poliziotteschi movies, and I started watching those. And his I liked the least because they were so formulaic. But the funny thing about Maurizio Merli is he grows on you. Here, I actually downloaded a clip that pretty much sums up. Like, if you want to know what Maurizio Merli is about, let me, this sums it up right here. Yeah, just watch this clip here, and it's everything you need to know about Maurizio Merli. Now he doesn't even have enough respect.
Something all over the place.
Dude, he doesn't have enough respect to fucking even punch this guy. He's just fucking bitch slapping him. That looked like a karate chop.
Yeah, those two opening backhands kind of told the whole story, didn't they? First two backhands told the whole story. You're fighting a bitch.
That's Maurizio Merli's movie career in a nutshell, right there. That's him in like virtually every movie except for this one. Like he's the guy that's just, like I said, he's just he's a cop and he's like he's on the edge and he's like maybe out of control. That's the system, and
out of control. No, he was good, dude. I really liked him. He was awesome.
Yeah, well, I mean, because I remember like when he officially grew on me, when I like appreciated the humor of like his poliziotteschi, like the crime movies he was making, was because it was it's some of the Italian crime movies are really good. I mean, really good, right? Alberto Lenzi, who's best known like for his horror movies, made some awesome poliziotteschi. He and there were a bunch of other directors too, Sergio Solima, because the Italian directors, they were workmen. That is to say, they went where the work was. So it's like they were making peplums. Italy was making peplums. They were making peplums. Then they were like, okay, we make the Western. So then they were making Westerns. Okay, we make the crime movie. Okay, and then they were making crime movies, then horror, so on and so forth. And certain directors worked in all of these genres, but there are always certain genres and certain directors that just clicked.
Also, didn't you think Sergio Leone when in Six Gun Gorilla when you put it out?
Oh, I
I
mean,
could have swore you did a shout out to him. That's what I'm getting at.
In the book, I don't think so. I mean, the poncho that Six Gun is wearing is the same design as the man with no name.
I was
right.
Oh my god, that's insulting. I thought you were like going to thank the grandfather of all spaghetti westerns.
Oh yeah, I mean that almost goes that almost goes without saying, right? But also it wasn't just inspired by the spaghettis. It was inspired also, a lot of the American westerns, a lot of the John Ford movies. I mean, it's a pretty fucking vast genre. And Howard Hawks definitely had a little bit of an influence.
I know, I'm just busting your balls.
I know you are, but I'm still going to give you a serious answer. That's the thing, because even if you're asking me a question and it's busting balls, there might still be something valuable in the answer. And of course, people wonder. It's just like, were you inspired by Leone? Of course, yeah. I mean, but I'm inspired by Leone not just in the westerns that I write, but you see that influence in a lot of my other work too, because that guy just knew how to keep a story moving, but then also he could just stretch shit out. Like I don't try to. Here's the thing: I'm inspired by Leone, but I never imitate him.
No,
because he can't be imitated. Because when people imitate him, they fall fucking flat on their faces.
That's a slippery slope to go down when you try to imitate.
Never imitate Leone. Never.
That's what AI tries to do, as a matter of fact, to real people, like imitate art.
Yeah.
Well, what AI does is it takes existing art and puts it in a blender and comes out with something new. And I'm not like as vehemently against AI as some people are. Like you guys, artists, I don't think you got anything to worry about. Are there going to be, I mean, DC is already using AI for its Batman comics.
Are they really? I never knew that.
Yeah, that's why I don't buy it. That's one of the reasons I don't buy them.
Yeah.
I had no idea. That's crazy.
Yeah, but keep in mind also, like when I was at that horror convention at the in Fishkill, right? Within 20 minutes driving distance of my crib. I was talking to one of the artists there, a guy who did actually, hold on a sec. He did this book. Because, of course, we are a comics-related stream. He did this right here, which is only just a few pages, and I bought this off him because he does a mean Count Orlok.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
And he said, like, yeah, some of my friends are working for Marvel now, and they're not getting paid.
What?
They're not getting well. They're getting paid, but they're getting paid like peanuts. Like they get paid better doing indie shit, right?
Well,
and it's like,
yeah,
they had
from the beginning.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
Because there's a reason why Marvel can afford to take a loss like they're doing right now.
Yeah, they ain't paying people.
Yeah, they're paying writers. But
well,
only a handful of writers.
If they're if they have a good social credit score on Twitter,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
If they're activists, if they're members of the activist community, and
we already knew like they were hiring people from out of country to go ahead and do their books because it was cheaper. I mean, you're talking about like $40 a page to do pencils and inks. Which is crazy.
Yeah, which is bullshit.
Inferior.
Yeah, I mean,
garbage out, people. Garbage in, garbage out.
That's
exactly. Exactly. Well, yeah, no, I mean, the American industry is notorious for treating its creators like shit.
Yep.
When I did Six Gun, I put out an ad and told everybody, like, this is how much I can afford to pay, right? And so when Adrian came aboard, he knew what he was getting into, and I told him to his face when I met him, like, dude, I'm not paying you like anywhere near what you're worth. Like, I get that, right? But hopefully this will take off, and then hopefully I can start like kicking you some more snaps. Because when you're underpaying people, at least when I've underpaid people, you feel like shit. You feel like a piece of shit. These motherfuckers do not, I guarantee you, feel like pieces of shit. Because they are pieces of shit. That's why. Yeah, to them, yeah. And I mean, I'm shocked that Marvel and DC are still making comics. I mean, they're making them at a loss, but then again, they're IP factories now. Right? So, I mean, not that they're going to be using any of that new shit, I don't think. But yeah, James Hurley says Blueberry is very trippy but visually appealing. Yeah, Blueberry is a French movie that was based on the Mobius comics.
Yep.
And it is not a accurate or good adaptation of those comics, but it's a good movie. And
Mobius was obsessed with American westerns.
So was the whole world. Yeah. So was the whole world. And that's why the Italians were like, once they were like looking at, because they were shooting peplums, sword and sandal movies, gladiator movies, Billy, in Spain. And yeah, it was Sergio Leone and Sergio Corbucci. Yeah, they were like looking over the landscape, and Corbucci said to Leone, he was like, you know what? I bet we could pull off shooting a Western here. And that's how it started. And, the rest, of course, is history. And we got so many great movies. We also got a lot of shit. Right? But the cream, as the Macho Man Randy Savage used to like to say,
cream is always going to rise to the top.
Yep. As it does. As it does. Yeah. And tonight's movie, Mannaja, I can't say that it is one of the better spaghettis. It's a fun one.
It was good. I liked it.
I love it.
Except in the beginning. Like, you remember when he's chasing the convict through the swamp, right? And then he takes his hatchet out and he throws it and he takes off the dude's wrist. Well, they show him pulling his gun out, but then he's got a hatchet in his hand.
No, it was Donald O'Brien's character.
I rewound it, and I'm telling you, he went for his gun, dude. I'm telling you, I was like, all right. What the fuck?
I'm telling you, I think I'm wrong. And usually when we have these disagreements, I'm almost always right. B.
Never.
Let me check this out real quick, because I do have the clip right here. One of the things I love about this movie is that beginning, because it's so trippy.
I thought it was cool. I was like, God damn, that's a lot of gore. A classic movie. I was like, holy shit, dude.
Yeah. Well, because also here you're talking about 1977, right?
Yeah.
So the Italians were starting to get into the fucking gore.
Dude, they fucking went into it head first.
Hardcore head first, right? Because, like I said, you had like the trends, and Gothic horror was a trend in the 60s, and then it kind of like dropped out and was replaced by the Westerns. But by the time the Westerns were winding down, the horror movies were coming back. And so you had a lot of these movies. Like Sergio Martino was mainly a horror director. Probably his most famous movie was a movie that we did here on the Horror Movie Club, Horror Express, with Sir Christopher Lee and should have been Sir Peter Cushing.
Also, like I've seen the Count Yorga too, like Count Yorga Returns.
Return of Count Yorga? Yeah. What you think?
It was good.
Yeah.
I think one of my favorite parts is when he was talking to that vampire hunter or writer, the old man.
Yeah.
And the dude's like, he's like, well, what can you tell me about Count Yorga? And he's like, yoga? He's like, I never do yoga. It's like I did Downward Dog once, and it took 2 men to straighten my body out. And another thing, it was good all the way up until it got to the end, because I was like, I called it. I was like, they're gonna go with the same ending.
The same ending.
I was like, why? Just why?
It works though. I mean, it's basically a remake of the first movie, right? But the first Count Yorga was, like I said, it was a softcore porn movie that they turned into a real horror movie. When they went in to do Return of Count Yorga, they went in knowing that they were doing a horror movie. And there's like the scene of like the vampire attack when they crash into that house and maul those people. That scene is, I think, is terrifying.
It is. And I think it was terrifying because there's no rules on these vampires.
No.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, whoa, like these guys can do anything they fucking want.
Sad, but also just the sheer savagery. You weren't used to vampires being that savage, right?
The whole time I'm thinking, and that little kid was the fucking cherry on top, right?
Yeah.
That kid was fucking like evil as fuck, dude. And it almost seemed like they were keeping him around because he was going to be the new henchman when he grew up. You know, like they weren't going to convert him. They were going to let him be like,
oh yeah, familiar for sure.
Yeah,
a familiar.
He was fucking evil, dude. What a cool actor too.
Like, yes, very good. Not all child actors are good. I mean, some of them are just like Lucas Black. I thought was incredible. Like he was in Sling Blade. He was a little kid in Sling Blade.
Yeah,
and Billy Bob Thornton said that the reason he chose him for the part was because all the other kids he auditioned were professional actors. Like they were like little Shirley Temples, right? Yeah. And he asked this kid, and he met Lucas Black, and he was just like, this kid's just like a regular kid. And he was like, well, so what do you want to do? And all the other kids are like, I want to win an Oscar, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And Lucas Black just said, I want to like grow up and be a bass fisherman. And he was just like,
done. You got the part.
Done. You got the part. You got the part.
It was a good movie though. I liked it. I thought it was badass. Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad. All
the way up until the ending. The ending was just,
I mean, I still like the ending. It has that feeling of inevitability to it.
Yeah.
And also, if you regard it, because remember, it's not like the Hammer movies where Dracula dies at the end of every movie and then gets resurrected at the beginning of the next one.
Yeah.
Right? You never see Count Yorga getting resurrected.
No, but it was I don't know. Like if you consider this a part 2, then I would think he got resurrected because
it's more of a remake.
Like it was all the chicks, right? Like that was coming out of the grave from the first movie, wasn't it?
Nope.
It wasn't?
Nope.
I thought it was. But then there was another thing too, is that witch, the vampire witch in there.
Yes.
Oh, yes. She was cool. Like,
Great,
I
right?
really dug that. Yeah.
Right?
Dude, Count Yorga is, you know what I noticed too? Like when I was watching the movie, I kept picturing like Bernie Wrightson comics, right?
Yeah.
Like old vampire comics. Dude, it was like scene for scene. It was like almost taken, like you could tell like these artists were watching these movies. And like,
oh, for sure.
We're using this, we're using that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And remember, that's the first time somebody had done Dracula in modern day America. There had been, of course, the a Dark Shadow series, but Barnabas Collins is not Dracula.
No.
And he doesn't come in on a ship. He doesn't come in on the Demeter,
No.
right?
He's
he doesn't invade a community. He's been there, like locked in a tomb for like 200 years. There's also no question that Salem's Lot is definitely inspired by the Count Yorga movies too.
Is it?
Yes, because that also is Dracula in a modern day setting, except that instead of being on the West Coast, he's on the East Coast in Maine, right? And the God, I'm thinking, Bob Keljan with those movies, I think, really showed himself to be somebody that had the potential to be a great horror director. Unfortunately, I think the only other horror movie that he did outside of those two is Scream, Blacula, Scream, which is
I kind of want to see that. I got.
Dude, I'm telling. Oh, and I just
because Blacula 1 was actually really good. Like it wasn't. It's not what you think. Like it wasn't like a funny parody or anything.
No. In fact, I would say that Blacula was like a bigger influence in many respects on Six Gun Gorilla than a lot of the Westerns.
Really?
Because I remember as a kid tuning in and thinking, oh, Blacula, this is going to be like a spoof, like a Mel Brooks movie.
Yeah.
And it was
not. No.
And
honestly, I thought like Six Gun was influenced by Dolomite.
Dolomite is my name. And ramming and timing is my game. When I go up and down inside of some pussy. No, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. I will go on a fucking 5-hour
Dolomite. Dude.
Dolomite,
you know what kind of
fucking shit.
I asked my wife, I said, what kind of material did we get the countertops made out of? She goes, oh no, that's not marble, that's Dolomite.
It's Dolomite!
Like, Dolomite!
Who are you working for? Dolomite, motherfucker.
Dolomite.
Who? Dolomite, motherfucker. You heard her.
Eddie Murphy did a fantastic.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. And phenomenal. I just wish that they'd made a movie like that when Rudy Ray was still alive. But I finally found a frame for this, which I got at the horror convention.
Oh, nice.
And that is a genuine lobby card for Scream, Blacula, Scream. And you know the shit's authentic because it's numbered. Yes, his number is 73 out of 211. And I'm telling you, if you liked Blacula and the Count Yorga movies, you're gonna love that. I've been wanting to do that on this that movie on this stream for a while now because I just think it's fucking phenomenal. Anyway, let's settle this, mofo. Let's settle this. We'll see who's right. Everybody start fucking placing your fucking bets. Oh, yeah. The music in this is by Guido and Maurizio De Angelis.
Dude, I'll be straight. When I first heard the music stuff playing, I was like, oh, that kind of sounds like Tom Waits. I was like, that's kind of cool. And then, like, after the beginning of each song, it went straight to the gayness. I was like, this is the worst fucking music ever. I was like, what the fuck, dude?
It's one of the things. Look, okay. This is one of the things you got to understand about the Twilight Spaghettis. Koepp is like this too. Koepp has a score because this is the thing. If you couldn't get a particular artist, and let's face it, you're talking about the Italian movie industry, generally pretty low budgets, especially towards the end. What you did was when you couldn't get Queen, you had the DeAngelis brothers do an imitation of Queen, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about
the theme from Yorga comes from. And
I'm talking about the you believe in justice. What the fuck are you talking about?
A wolf, a solitary man. Yeah, no, I know exactly what I'm explaining where this shit comes from and why this music is the way it is, right? So in Koepp, I think it was actually Franco Nero who went to the D'Angelo's brothers and said, for this one, I want the Leonard Cohen.
Right? Get up. So they instructed them to knock off other artists.
Directly, yeah. Nice. Even Enzo Castellari, the director, would be like on certain days, he's like, today we're doing Sam Peckinpah, right? And like, so then you like that those were the shots with like all the slow motion violence, people getting shot and like falling really slow, and these giant fucking bullet squibs exploding, and they're falling in the fucking mud and crap. When
I was watching that intro and it had all the fog, because I mean the name of the movie is like, a man called Blade.
Yeah,
I totally expected to see a fucking blade come shooting out of the fog and like nailing this dude.
Kind of does. That is kind of what happens. This is Donald O'Brien, and he was a veteran of the spaghetti westerns. He also ended up in a lot of the horror movies. He was the evil scientist, the evil doctor in Zombie Holocaust, aka Dr. Butcher MD. So that would have made him Dr. Butcher. He was also in 2020 Texas Gladiators, which by Joe D'Amato, master of making just absolute fucking filth, although that's actually genuinely kind of a good movie. He's in a buttload of these movies, and in this, of course, he's playing a guy that's being an outlaw that's being hunted by our hero. So you've got the music, you've got the echoing of the horse's hooves splashing in the water. You've got this mysterious looking swamp. The music and everything, just the atmosphere is very uncanny.
No, it was very well done. Very well.
And unlike Keoma, I believe they actually had a screenplay when they made this. And yeah, I will explain the thing about the music. I mean, look at that forest. Doesn't that look intense?
It does. It looks like a horror movie.
Absolutely. And that's one of the things that makes the Spaghettis so unique, is that a lot of these directors were making horror movies before they were making these. And so very often when they directed these movies, they directed them like horror movies. Consciously or unconsciously. I would say consciously. Yes, Maurizio Merli is not a guy you want on your ass.
It's like having Clint Eastwood on there.
No, Maurizio Merli's worse. I mean, you saw him fucking whack that dude's head, slam that dude's head into the car hood.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like, what, 4 or 5 times?
You think he went overboard?
Yeah, but that's the nature of Maurizio
No, I'm talking
Merli.
about, Steven Seagal. Steven Seagal intentionally tried to hurt the stuntmen on the set.
Well, he's a notorious piece of shit.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. Yeah, and he's got a fake black belt, too. Like, his black belt's not real.
Fake CIA, fake everything about that dude is fake, except for his gut, for his gunt.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, so he's looking around here, right? He hears the horse's hooves, and he knows that Blade is out there somewhere, but he can't exactly pinpoint him. Now he's pinpointed him. Now he sees him. So what does he do? He goes for his gun.
I don't think that's him.
That is him. That's why Blade throws his tomahawk. Right? Because he's trying to capture the guy. He's not trying to kill him. This guy, though, just pulled the fucking gun on him.
Who owns the rights to this?
I have no idea.
Huh.
D'Angelo's film, maybe?
I really like that character. That character's badass.
Oh yeah, but I got cooler ones. I got cooler ones from the extended Six Gun Gorilla universe, like Sam Hain and the Blazing Szechuan Kid and the Phantom Vaquero. Yeah, and then of course we get this great shot of the tomahawk just spinning through the air. And he's just hanging out, minding his own business with a fucking gun in his hand, and ow!
Now, hold on. Here's the part that bothers me. He pulls out his gun. He doesn't point it at dude. Hold up. Look at me. He hangs his arm out to the side like this just to get chopped off. Dude was over there. He should have been.
Pops,
but it happened so fast.
Pops, there are so many problems with this movie.
He pulled his gun out, put his arm way out like that.
Nobody
pulls their gun and goes like that unless that's the direction they're shooting.
Pops, there are so many things wrong with this movie. Like, just pointing one thing out is not.
Yes. And also, remember the type of movies that we're talking about here, right? If you're a nitpicky kind of a viewer, these movies are just not for you.
No,
at all. But notice
you're not going to have a good time at all.
Yeah, but notice this. Notice this. I'm like slowing it down. I'm freeze framing. Let's just watch it all just like real quick. I mean, it's regular speed. He's going for that steal.
You see how it's easy to make that mistake, right?
No.
Did you see how quick that was?
Yeah.
Right? So you wouldn't have noticed that, his hand is just hanging out there if I hadn't freeze framed it and pointed it out.
He's throwing the axe at. Of course, we're gonna know he threw his hand out there. The question is, why did he throw his hand out there and give a dude a target at the gun instead of pointing the gun at the dude? That's the question, not what he was throwing. He obviously knew what he was throwing at. Why did this guy put his arm out there like that? That's the question.
Like I said, there are so many things wrong with this movie.
Oh God!
This is not the.
I mean,
this is not Sergio Leone.
First of all, this isn't Sergio Leone, right? But it's also not the real world. It's not pretending to be. Same thing with the Leone movies. The Leone movies are pure fucking fantasy. Everybody knows that nobody, especially with the primitive firearms that they had back then, can shoot the gnat off a dog's dick.
Now, Pops, I want you to understand something. In this universe that we're talking about, these men are trained to hold their gun out in a way where their hands get cut off.
Word up. Word. Yes.
This is what got me right here. I'm like, dude, that sounds like Tom Waits. That's cool. And then comes the gayness.
The sun goes down, and your mind is breaking down. Yeah, so here, okay, so for Koepp, they, shit, you know what? I may actually have to get an actual clip from Koepp. They wanted Leonard Cohen, so these guys, the DeAngelis brothers, did their best version of Leonard Cohen, but they had one of the brothers singing in a voice similar to this one, and a woman, and the woman is like this hippie chick that kind of warbles, and you'll see this in this movie too. The lyrics are often referring to what's actually happening on the screen. Right? Like a Koepp, it's like, go now, save Koepp. Koepp, don't step on that nail. Shit like that.
Yeah, you can do it.
Yeah. This is very much the nature of the subgenre. Like I said, at this point, the spaghetti was well on its way out. This is a very strange, very curious outlier. I didn't like it the first time I saw it. And I think it's because Anchor Bay, in the early days of DVDs, when those were first coming out in the early 2000s, they were putting out like all these great old Italian horror movies, and then they started putting out a lot of the spaghettis. And I had mostly just seen the the Leone movies. And I'd seen some of the Corbucci ones because they put those out first, you know, like Django, for instance. That was like the first one they put out because it was the most eagerly anticipated, the most eagerly awaited, because we never, ever had that shit on VHS here in America. That was something that was, I think it was also banned in England too. So I think in England it was like something that was
why was it banned?
Brand new.
I don't.
For violence.
Oh,
you seen? Have you seen Django?
No, I haven't seen it.
That movie's fucking brutal.
I've seen Django Unchained, that brilliant piece of. Huh?
You know, the original Django. Check that out. That's fucking brutal, savage. You know the ear slicing scene from Reservoir Dogs? It's from that movie.
Well, when you decide to review it over here, I'll go ahead and check it out.
We did it already.
Did you really?
Oh, mofo, shit. Yes. Like out of all the spaghettis that he's seen, Matt loves that one.
Yeah,
the best. And that's the movie that made Franco Nero a big star. Yeah. But put that one on your watch list. It's on Tubi. It's very easy to find. And it's dope.
I got a ton of movies on my Tubi account right now.
Tubi's the shit. Tubi's the shit.
Dude, they got some, like, sometimes when I can't find anything to watch, I'm like, hey, you want to watch a classic movie? Like, we'll put something from like the 80s or 90s on or something like that. Last night we watched The Return of Count Yorga. Yoga.
Nice. Yoga.
I don't do yoga anymore.
I threw my back out doing that shit.
Did you read my book? That dude was brilliant, dude. He reminded me of somebody, like from a medieval movie or something like that. I don't know.
And who should show up but our boy Matt? What is going on?
What's up, bro?
Son,
how you doing?
What's up, homie?
Better now that you're here.
Oh, likewise, brother. Cheers.
What's going on? What's going on? How you doing, brother, man? You just get back from work?
No, I got my kids in Taekwondo right now, so I'm doing that like 2 nights a week.
Oh,
gymnastics and stuff.
Nice.
Little ninjas, you know.
Nice. Taekwondo is something I never fucked with because I've heard it can fuck your knees up if you're older.
Yeah.
But if they're kids, you know.
Right.
Dude, you shouldn't really be doing anything if you're older like that.
Right.
Buddy, he's doing jujitsu right now. And his knee bent the wrong way.
Yeah. That shit.
At one practice, and now he decided he wanted to do a competition, and he ripped the tendons in his shoulder.
Oh my god.
He doesn't want to get the surgery. He's trying to train out of it. But I was like, dude, you can't train out of it.
Yeah, you can't train out of that.
You gotta get the surgery.
Yeah.
My homeboy, Chris. By the way, if you're listening right now, I know you're all doped up on painkillers, but much love to you, bro. He got into a flood in New Jersey, right? Because there are certain areas of New Jersey that just get flooded during rainstorms nowadays. Didn't used to be like this, right? And they'll just they don't do anything to fix it. They just fucking let those areas flood. And his car got stuck in one of these floods.
That fucking sucks.
And he stepped out, and he stepped in because the manhole covers come flying off, right? And he slipped and he tripped, and he didn't just break his ankle. He tore up his Achilles tendon.
He's lucky that's all that happened, because people die that way too.
Oh, dude, he almost drowned. He had to fucking do the army, the soldier crawl.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Some people, man. Nobody was helping him either.
Those fucking manhole covers, and they're never seen again.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
No, he's absolutely fucking lucky to be alive. But for instance, on Saturday, I didn't make Matt's stream because I was over at his crib trying to fucking cheer his ass up because, needless to say, he's, not in the best of spirits with his injury, but he went into surgery today and came out of it, and he's doing well. So he didn't die. right? I mean, not that he was like especially concerned that he would die, but sometimes motherfuckers do die.
Oh,
And
yeah.
It's always a good day when you don't die. I'm just saying.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Every day above ground is a good day, for sure. For sure,
I've had
man.
friends that have gone in the hospital to have tests and never came back out.
Well, there was a hospital called the Last Stop where I used to live.
Oh, shit.
You go in there for tonsils and you come out out of liver or something.
Oh my God. Harvest.
Like they used to, I was at the time I was working as a security guard. You know, this is way back when I was younger. And these old people would come over and just say, like, I was like, where you going? Because you become friends with them. And this one chick was like, I gotta go to dialysis. She's like, my kidneys work fine until I went into that fucking hospital to get a checkup. And she said, now the doctor is making money off it every time I go get dialysis.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And hospitals ain't no place to get well.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
They
right.
would harvest these fucking old people, dude. Like just fucking
Jesus. You know, that's what they do. That's what they did to my mom, actually.
Yeah. It's fucking pathetic.
Right.
Like it's really fucking pathetic.
Well, it's
dude.
criminal is what it is. It's criminal is what it is. But it's legal crime, right?
Legal.
So,
It's not legal. Yeah.
It's on another level,
is.
like globally. They're like growing, they're like harvesting children.
yeah. Well, I mean, you don't
You've
want to
seen
do
that
harvest
video
children.
from Germany, right?
I've
Like
seen
they got
one
this
from,
new machine
Ukraine.
where it can just fucking pops kids out like at the dozen. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? And these artificial fetuses. Yeah, you never seen it? Yeah, it's like an artificial womb, and it's like they just pop these kids out like crazy, dude. Like,
So,
Yeah.
wait, whoa. That is literally right out of Brave New World. You guys have read Brave New World by Aldous
No.
Huxley?
No.
In that, people don't make children naturally. They have sex, but it's just for fun.
that's
right?
what they're pushing everything towards.
And
It's like,
so,
you know,
yeah. Well, I mean, so children are grown in these decanters, and then they're not born; they're just decanted.
Yeah.
And that's what that sounds like. But what they're doing, it sounds to me like they're growing tissue, or
they're growing kids, dude. They're growing actual kids in these artificial wombs. You know what's crazy? Like we have a friend. You know what I'm saying? And him and his wife, they have a teenage son.
Yeah.
And I was talking to him. I was like, because we're by their house, you know, and he came out and he was really a cool kid. But I was like, and he's 15, right?
Yeah.
And it's not like when we were kids, you know, like you don't hang out at the movies, you don't hang out in the mall because malls are fucking deserts nowadays.
Yeah, sure.
And I was like, hey, what's up, dude? He's like, yeah, I was talking to my girlfriend. I was like, oh, sweet, you got a girlfriend? He goes, yeah. And I was like he's never met her.
Oh shit.
I'm saying, like, they talk online. You know what I'm saying? They do like dates with chat. You know, like it's. And I'm thinking, dude, at 15, like, I was tearing it up. You know what I'm saying? And I was like,
I was tearing it up too, but I was tearing it up by myself in the fucking bathroom, bro.
Well, I had friends that used to make a game out of it. I'm just saying, like, I was like, it was like, you know, at least I got the first base, you know what I'm saying? Or something like that. And I'm like, this kid's never touched a woman. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
and
he's 15, but
he's only had girlfriends online. You understand what that means?
More than I had at that age, but
let me ask you a question, Brian. When was the last time you seen a pregnant woman? Like in the wild, like just pregnant. I'm saying, like, think about that for 1 second.
It's been a while.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like this is crazy, dude. Like it feels like everything's being pushed towards like artificial and like, you know, artificial birth.
If you haven't, go ahead, Matt.
Oh no, go ahead. Yeah, finish.
No, I was just gonna say, if you haven't read Brave New World, 1984, Fahrenheit 451, those three novels, we're living in a combination of those.
It feels like Gattaca.
Grab those a little bit. Gattaca has a lot of Brave New World in it. Grab those; they're very short. Or get the audio books. And check those out. Check those 3 books out because they'll tell you so much. Like the time that we're living in right now will make so much more sense to you if you check those out. Like I said, they're like 150 pages each. Get the audio books or get the little, you know, you can buy them just about anywhere. Not that they.
I'm
Not that,
gonna check it out.
yeah, you'll suddenly understand shit like a little bit better because these motherfuckers, none of them were exactly right, but it's like a little bit of each of them.
Oh yeah, like The Giver.
Right?
Do you guys ever read The Giver? That was a pretty popular book. Where they're like
No.
aborting all the babies, and kind of like Equilibrium, where you just see black and white. They made a movie of it though with I think Jeff Bridges, but I never really watch it.
What's it called?
The Giver. What's up, Ben Sullivan? What's up?
Oh yeah, we got peeps in the
comics?
chat. Hey, Rosales.
Ben?
Hey, Ben. What's up?
Rosales.
And Poke Chunker, nice name, says some of my favorite spaghetti westerns are the Trinity films. As a matter of
they're
fact,
pretty awesome, dude.
we did the first one on here. Terrence Hill and Bud fucking
We love
Spencer.
Love
The
'em.
team supreme.
Doc West, baby.
I
love
gotta
all the
start.
movies.
Man from the East, that's a fun one. My Name is Nobody, that's a great one. That's actually one of the great spaghettis, just period.
It is one of my favorites, really.
And then you have the Cat Stevens and Hutch trilogy, which goes like this: God forgives, I don't. Then it was Ace High, which is Bud and Terrence and Eli Wallach.
Yeah.
And then the last one is Boot Hill.
Boot Hill,
And, yeah. And those are all great, but they're not comedies, right? It's but that's when Bud and Terrence first did films together. And the thing about on-screen couples, whether they're like opposite sex, same sex, right? Buddies, for instance, you can't manufacture that shit. You can't manufacture it. It's something that just happens naturally. If they could put that shit in a can, they would.
Terrence and Bud were awesome together. No matter
Awesome.
what movie it was they were in together, they were awesome together. Even if the movie sucked, they were awesome together. You know?
Fun.
Yeah, like the All the Way Boys, for instance, which man, is not a very great movie, but damn, it could have been. And they made so many, and they made so many good ones. So one of the there's two movies I want to do on this stream that we haven't done yet with Bud and Terrence. One is why am I suddenly blanking on the Buddy Goes West, right? With Bud Spencer.
Yep.
Fucking awesome. As like one of the funniest scenes. I don't know why this cracked me up so much, but at the end, of course, what happens at the end of like a Bud Spencer Terrence Hill movie, although this one doesn't have Bud Spencer, is a big fucking yoke fest, right? Bitches getting fucking smacked. It's fucking, Terrence is usually smacking bitches, like, backhanding them and fucking just bitch slaps, right? And, Bud is going around doing the fucking pile driver, boom, 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 just driving motherfuckers into the ground like fucking tent pegs. But there's this moment where like these guys are all running around looking for him, and this one guy just turns and looks, and he just sees a fist that's like coming out of a hole in a wall, and it's just a fist there. And he's just like, and fucking Bud, of course, lays his ass out.
That's funny.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, grew up with Bud Spencer, Terrence Hill. It's a shame that Americans didn't. Right? I knew who they were because I was raised by German parents, and they were huge in fucking Germany. But they were like the biggest movie stars in the world at that time, everywhere but America. It was like the same thing with Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan, at one moment, was the biggest movie star in the world, except America. It's just, I don't know. We're funny that way. But yeah, and then of course we haven't done the sequel to They Call Me Trinity. Trinity Is Still My Name. Yes, which unfortunately they only did 2 of the Trinity movies, but I mean that was enough,
Really good.
Yeah, they did so much other shit together.
Doc West was another one that was one of my favorites. The one with the poker tournament that we were talking about, where they actually took clips from that movie and made another movie out of it. They just They just cut Terrence out.
Yeah, I know.
It's a completely different movie. It was like, are you for real? Because I actually went and watched both movies, and it is the same people, the same scenes, like standing in front of the imaginary house that the lady wants to build after she makes all her money, right?
I'm pretty sure.
What did they do? They just shuffled it or something like that?
They just took him out and they made another movie, another poker player movie based on that movie, but it just doesn't have him in it anymore.
Yes. Okay, the best example I can give of, because this is the Italians we're talking about here, right? This is the Italians. And they didn't necessarily really respect things like copyright, of course. If there was a movie that was big here and internationally, they were fast with the fucking ripoff. And then sometimes they would do combination ripoffs. Like sometimes some of these movies are combinations of The Warriors, Mad Max, Escape from New York, all in one movie, right? And so, the story I'm thinking of is it was Fred the Hammer Williamson. Did two movies called Black Cobra. And Black Cobra was basically an exact remake of Cobra, but with a black dude. I'm not making this up, right?
Jesus Christ.
And so then Fred Williamson, it was a hit, and so Fred Williamson did Black Cobra 2. And then one day he discovers, I don't know how, that there's a Black Cobra 3. He finds this very interesting because he doesn't seem to remember having made a Black Cobra 3. And so a Black Cobra 3 is, and I'm pretty sure it's easy to find. I bet it's on Tubi or some shit like that. They just took bits of pieces from the first two Black Cobras and cut them together and made a new Black Cobra 3.
Oh, pretty shiesty.
Really shiesty. But that's the thing about the Italians, man. It's like even their trash was good to a large degree.
Tasteful. I love the way this movie opens up, with him in the smoke. You know what I mean? And it goes out that way too. There's a shot too at the end where like the main villain is holding those two dogs and the camera's like pointing up. It's just really epic looking with the smoke around him, and he's come out and I'm like, God, I hope he throws an axe at him. He throws open his coat, and I'm like, I hope he don't pull out a gun. I want him to throw an axe at him.
I did enjoy it. I thought they could have been a little bit more creative with the axe throwing. But I was totally down with it. I thought that was cool. It's like the perfect Western comic character too.
Yeah, totally, dude.
Throwing axes and knives and shit.
Yeah, the origin.
It would have worked really well if there'd have been somebody over there that distracted him, and that's why he pointed his gun that way, and then dude took his hand
exactly.
Off, you know? All they needed was a millisecond scene of somebody standing over there, and it works.
If you put out a comic or a graphic novel called A Man Called Blade, will Marvel sue you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, for sure. Because they're owned by Disney. This is how much of a dick Disney is, right? There's a guy who's like an art film director, and he made a movie called Monster. And it's about this girl who goes to Norway and finds basically Grendel from Beowulf, right? And gets to know him. And introduces him to society, and he becomes like a celebrity. It's a weird but it's a really good little movie if you like monster movies, especially on the unusual side. But Disney was like, you can't call your movie Monster, and he was like, why not? Well, because we're doing Monsters Inc. And he's like, okay, my movie is a art film that with a monster in it. Right? So it's marginally horror. So the audience for my movie is nowhere near being the audience for your movie.
No, I've seen shit like
Didn't matter. You have to change the title. So you could find the movie under the title No Such Thing. And the director says that whenever he sees it, it makes his fucking skin crawl a little bit because he says when the credits open, it should say Monster.
Yeah.
Right?
No,
the mouse doesn't care. The mouse doesn't care about art. Geez.
The problem with copyright and the problem with the way the system's set up is that they don't have to win.
No.
They could just tie you up forever.
Forever.
I've had it happen to me. I know what I'm talking about. Like it's really fucked up because even if you're right, say Brian puts out a 6-gun gorilla and they have like something else under, and it's like Joe Gorilla,
Tarzan's friend or something.
Yeah, the gorilla. Like,
Yeah.
well, your
Well,
book
I have
has
alternate
gorilla in it,
titles,
so
but, yeah,
our DC's
I've
like,
copyrighted those.
we got a series called Gorilla Grodd, so you can't put your book out with gorilla on it, and you're like, but it's not the same. It's absolutely not. Doesn't matter. And you're like, well, I'll fight you on it, and they're like, go ahead, we'll just wait you out.
Yeah,
you gotta
exactly
die
right.
sometime.
Yep. They just bleed you dry. It's like all your money's gone too, so you can fight them in court.
They did it with your boy with Ghost Rider. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
There's so many fucking crooked things that Marvel has done. Like as far as Blade was never signed over to Marvel. He was never signed over to Marvel. The creator used him in a book, and it took off. So Marvel's like, that's ours now.
Yeah, it's insane. But that's like the director, Hal Hartley is his name. He's the guy who directed No Such Thing. He said that, yeah, they were just like, well, like, we're going to sue you. And he was like a little indie guy. And so he had to change the title of the movie. Otherwise, he knew what, like you said, their game is to just fucking get you to fucking be broke.
That is a huge problem with the American copyright system. You know what I'm saying? Like, huge.
Copyrights are just like certain just big corps, you know, they'll just bleed you out. You know, that's their main thing. Lag out the trial, you know. It's crazy.
Oh, Matt, we got to talk about I'll talk about this later because it's a total non sequitur. I loved your video about the new Conan comic that just came out, the one that's going to have the crossover between him, Cull, Solomon Kane, Elborak, I think is going to be all up in that.
Borat's going to be in Conan?
Yeah.
Elborak. Mofo. Elborak. But I mean, dude, it was driving me fucking crazy because my LCS doesn't fucking sell those comics. They don't carry them because they have issues with diamonds.
Oh, do they carry?
So
do they have
like,
diamond? Do they
I
use
gotta
diamond?
fucking wait.
Do they use diamond?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
and,
you just
or
have to
they've
special
issued
order.
with diamond, so they can't get Conan comics for some reason.
Diamond is kind of a nobody should be using diamond.
Nobody
So
should.
you just have to have them special order them for you. You know what I mean? That's what I do because he doesn't order that many. He ordered this one though because they're making money now. Like they're fucking those books are hanging now. So he's like, all right, I'll start ordering Conan. And so now they're he got more.
Next time I go.
Stuff, so. But normally, the whole last year I had to order all the Conans. You know, and you only get it's Conan once a month, basically. It's like $5 a month.
Even if you get your book in diamond, like you talk to Ben Dunn, Antarctic Press, and he takes you in and he puts you in diamond. The store owners don't know you're in diamond. You still have to have your fans walk into that LCS and go, hey, man, page 284. Well, how does your fan know your book is on page 284 in diamond? Because you still got to tell them. You still got to promote yourself.
The guy who ran the LCS on me, he told me straight up, he was like, whenever I get this book from Diamond to order books from, I skip everything and go straight to DC and Marvel and order from there.
That's what they
I don't even look at the other shit unless they request it. I'll be honest with you. A lot of LCS, if they were smart, and a lot of creators, if they were smart, they'd start putting their shit on Amazon. Because if you got a Prime account, that's free shipping, dude.
That's what RJ's doing. That's what RJ's doing. I'm going to fulfill through RJ with Six Gun if the art's ever finished.
Critical blast, baby.
Well, if you pray really, really hard, maybe little baby Jesus will give you that book.
When you talk about RJ,
maybe I have to get Mr. Swit.
Right. When you talk about RJ, you got to make sure people understand we're talking about Critical Blast. Fulfillment and publishing. Yes. Critical Blast. RJ
so
is
happy for him,
the guy. But you know what I mean? The branding is what matters. Critical Blast. People check it out.
Yeah.
I haven't checked up on RJ in a long time. Like I didn't know he was this successful.
I talked to him yesterday. Hold up, there's bigger things coming, guys. I talked to him yesterday. He's a happy motherfucker right now.
Dude, I mean, you have to understand, RJ was living in a closet, basically.
Yeah.
Right? He only had like so much room to move.
He was in a room that's half the size of the one Brian's in right now.
Right. And I know what it's like to be between homes, right? And it's not a comfortable place to be. And now he's got an excellent apartment, and his business is banging. banging. And so it's not like he's doing okay. He's doing great. He's not just surviving anymore. He's thriving. So
does he deal with LCSs, or does he just deal with like?
He does publishing through Amazon, Barnes and Noble,
everything.
Walmart, all that. He does fulfillment. If an LCS ordered something from somebody's campaign, a retail tier or whatever, then yeah, he'd be shipping it to them. But I don't think RJ has time to hustle to beg LCS to look at him.
No, I was just, that's not what I was saying. I was just wondering if he sold to LCS, or is it just
it's not straight distribution unless an LCS hit him up and said, hey, I want some of those.
Dude, if LCS were smart, they would get out of that fucking diamond thumb and just go straight to Amazon. You know?
For sure.
Some people don't like the Amazon thing though because was it print on demand?
Yeah, well, here's the thing, dude. I've heard horror stories from Diamond, how they package shit. You know what I'm saying?
But see, that's what I'm saying.
Everybody's always hated.
It's like
nobody's a fan of Diamond. Nobody's talking for
Diamond. I've never heard a positive word from anybody about Diamond ever.
That's exactly what I'm saying though. Like if you're going to go ahead and say, well, I ain't dealing with Amazon because blah blah blah. I mean, that's fucking retarded.
But see, no, because print on demand doesn't count for your fucking first edition, second printing, third printing. It doesn't take into account a collector's.
No, I don't like print on demand.
Well, that's what Amazon is.
Either. Like I'm not a big. Yeah, it
I'm a collector. I'm a collector. I want your first printing. I want your first printing.
So you're saying like,
he
can't just like Amazon. If you go through Amazon, they have to be able to print your book. You can't just sell it through Amazon.
I think that's how that works. I don't think it's.
Well, what about this? What about people who? I mean, I'm looking at it like as if. Okay, say if I'm selling forks, right? Amazon's not going to produce forks on demand. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if I got a Prime account, I get free shipping on those forks. You see where I'm going? Like,
yeah, I see where you're going, dude.
So why can't they do that with books? I don't understand.
There's nothing that says they can't. The question is, does RJ want to print 5,000 of your book and hope it sells?
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? He's not a distributor. He's not not printing your book.
Fact of the matter is that no matter what, even if we had like a mainstream indie publisher, we would still have to fucking pound our feet.
Yes.
We would
still have to. I totally get that. But what I'm saying is you run your campaign and you always overprint, right? Because you're hoping to sell those extra 1,000 or 2,000 books,
Oh, I've never ordered that many.
You can only overprint if you make a lot of money, Preston. Not everybody. Some people only make $2.
You guys don't make a lot of money?
Most I've ever made was 20. No, of course. But once again, it's like you make a joke, but then there's actually like an answer that's like relevant to whatever we're discussing. Yeah, no, I mean, the most I've ever had printed, most I've ever made was 20K on a campaign.
And you never overprinted like 500 copies or something like that?
No.
Really?
And I thought I was going to be left with a ton of leftovers when I printed 400 copies for the New York Comic Con, and when we were sold out on day 2.
Honestly, when I printed Doc Salem, I overprinted by, I think it was like 300 copies, right?
Okay, that's not so bad.
But because I kept in mind, like I'm also going to be doing shows, I need books,
conventions and shit, yeah.
And then there's going to be late orders coming in, like people are going to be hitting me up. So I was like, and then there's also trade, because I want to trade for other people's books. Exactly, damages. And the way Alterna has it set up is you can still get their damaged books. You can do it at a little bit of a discount.
Yeah,
but
I've never gotten a damaged book.
Check this out though. You did that print, that first printing, right?
Yeah.
Now some people backed your campaign. Did they get something different than what you were selling at the con later?
No, because here's the deal. Like I overprinted for the campaign.
I understand that. What I'm saying is the people that actually help you pay for that.
Yeah.
didn't get anything different than the people who.
Well, they got whatever was
walked up and just
available
got
with the
it in.
campaign.
Now, listen to what I'm saying, dude. Because
No, I get what you're saying, but what I'm saying is that
you're
they got
not
the
even
stickers, they
hearing
got
me make my
all the
point
other
yet.
stuff,
I
but they
haven't
didn't
even
get.
made my
I'm
point.
gonna
They
get a
got the
refill.
exact same book. You see what I'm
haven't even
saying?
made
Like
my
it's not a
point
different
yet.
book.
I have not made my point yet.
Okay, make your point.
What I'm saying is those people that walked up to your table at the con, they gave you X amount of money, got a book right now, and it's the same book that dude had to wait 3 months, 6 months, a year for.
Not in my campaign. They never had to wait a year.
Well, I don't care. You're skipping past the point, bro.
Well, here's the point. I see what your point is. Did they get a different cover? No. But what they did, what the person who walked up to my table got, and the person that backed the campaign did get, was all the extras. You see what I'm saying? They got the prints, they got the stickers, but
don't care about none of that shit, but
here's what you're missing. Like, it's still a limited print run. Like, it's not print on demand where everybody gets it's an unlimited amount of books.
Run, but what I'm saying is that people that had to wait got the same book as some people that walked up to your table and got it handed to them right now.
Well, you're absolutely right, but they also got extras.
There should have been some.
Aren't going to get.
But see, collectors don't care about the extras. We care about.
Oh, I doubt that shit because I'm a collector, and I'll tell you right now, I do care about the extras.
Well, I mean,
that shit goes in a box, man.
Like I'm not. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a collector, right? I've always been a reader, but I respect collectors, and that's why I always rely on y'all fellas to let me know what like collectors like and what they don't like, right? Like with the Breitweiser thing, I had to have Preston explain to me like why what they did was fucked up, and I understood when he explained it to me. Yeah.
You got the Walmart copy. You got the first appearance of that fucking chicken. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The rooster.
That's
the Wally rooster.
And here's the fucked up part. Like, yes, the campaign book was fantastic. It's beautiful. It looks gorgeous and everything like that. But it is not the first appearance of that character.
No, it's Walmart. Yeah.
Right.
That was an excellent character, too.
All the extras don't make up for that.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
You're
but I mean, that's
right.
why. Right. But the point is, I had to have that explained to me. Right. But that's why I ask and see what because the last thing you want to do is screw over your backers.
Like when I'm looking at a campaign and I see somebody has this many of this cover, 25, that's all they're going to make of this. And you can see how many there in that printing there's going to be.
Yeah.
Okay. You're a collector. You know, there's 500 first prints. Okay. Some of them have different covers, but there was 500 in the first printing and you know that. Okay. If somebody's printing up extras and not telling you and then selling them at a con, you kind of feel like you got lied to a little bit.
Well, that's not true unless your book is signed and numbered. If your book's signed and numbered, then you know exactly how many was available in that print.
Right. Like one thing I would not like. I know not to do.
Most people are transparent about how many is in the first printing.
The only way you know that is if you go ahead and you look on the campaign. It's like,
what if you have leftovers?
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. Is like
printing this many. You tell them you're printing this many. There are no leftovers.
I've never told anybody that ever. Like I've never disclosed how many books I've printed. Like,
see,
ever.
and come on, man. How can as a collector?
That's nobody's business.
Marvel
isn't telling me, well, we only printed 2,000 copies. They're never going to tell you that. Like
as a collector, we know there was 100,000 of those printed, 200,000 of those printed, and 40,000.
You have a rough estimate, but you don't know.
Yeah, you're always going to have like
talking
5
about
or 10
smaller
more.
campaigns. We should have exact numbers.
You're not going to have the exact
absolutely
numbers.
not. That's nobody. Yeah, nobody needs.
There has to be damages. There has to be damages, like just in case
they
send their fucked up ones, or if they send it somewhere and you're on your end, you mail it to them, that special edition one, and it gets fucked up on there. You need to have extra ones. So there's always going to be
absolutely.
That's not what I'm talking about, guys.
I know what you're talking about. You're saying you want to know exactly how many
copies. You want to know the
copies
exact
are made.
fucking inventory per said variant cover. So it's 100% collectible. You want to know the collectability of it. What up, J Dollar?
It's 100% collectible because you're not going to do it on demand.
I can't tell you how many of these I had printed. I can't tell you how many I had printed. I can't tell you this. these leftovers, this will never be printed again.
Exactly.
Right? So these are the leftovers. I was thinking of just sending these to Preston so he can sign them.
I got too many.
And you still got a bunch? Okay.
I don't do shows anymore, so I'm not moving merchandise anymore.
I just make a new cover when everyone sells out now. Like
when you do a second chance campaign, you're literally doing a second print. That's why you do a second chance campaign.
Or check this out. I can also throw it in as a bonus to a preferred customer.
You set them up. You set up your storefront at Fund My Comic, and you put all that extra stuff up there available, and you let people know I got 40 of these, I got 30 of these.
Right.
It's not. It doesn't have to be an active campaign on Fund My Comic. You can have a storefront with all your extra shit there available.
Yeah. Now check this out. Adam Miller, the guy that did the Iron Age icons, he hit me up and said, "Hey, like, do you want extras of these?" I was like, yeah, like how much? And he was just like, oh, like you can get like 100 for like $25 or something, or $50. I forget what it was. So now I got a huge box of these cards. What am I going to do with them? I'm going to throw them into people's packages. It's like a bonus.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
You know, because it's just like, hey, I'm sorry, my book's like 2 years. It's almost 2 years late. So it's like with the figurines, right? With those, people didn't get just the figurine that they ordered. They got 2 figurines and a written apology from yours truly. Because what are we without our fucking backers? We couldn't do this shit, man. They're the ones that make this shit possible. So it's like, even if you're a dick and you have no conscience, like certain people we know, it's just smart business sense too, right? It's just like, gee, when you don't treat people like shit, like they actually are more likely to continue giving you their money, so that you can continue making comic books. Now,
I've always thought like people are really foolish when they decide to go ahead and take the money and run, because
my God, you're killing the
you've just destroyed your career. You know,
career and community suicide. You're destroying the community and the career for yourself. So you just fuck everybody. So
that is short-term gain for long-term nothing.
Yes. We play the long game, right?
Congratulations, you made 50 grand. You got $50,000 and you pissed a ton of people off. Now go get your job at McDonald's, because that money is not.
You're lucky. Machine's got all the jobs now.
Exactly. It's just like, what up, J Dollar? You know, this is what, like I said, it's just fuck. I don't understand people that do that. I just don't. They make no fucking sense to me. Well, but then again, I guess maybe they were just tourists.
I think what happened is they did their campaign. They couldn't get the book done in the 30 days that the campaign was going on for. So what happened was, while they're getting the book done, they spent all the money for the campaign. You see what I'm saying? And now they're fucked, because now they got to come up with that money to go and get the book printed and sent out.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, why do you think Ethan's going fucking crazy with the fucking super chats? Yeah. Right? Because he's got like what, 6 books that are like, Rainbow Brood is going to be coming up on 5 years, I think. Soon.
Jesus fucking Christ,
yeah, man. And didn't you do like the first
6-gun gorilla?
Did you? I know. Motherfucker! God damn you! Why can't I quit you? Why can't I quit you, Preston? It's because your shit's dope. That's why. Holy shit! Oh, the new 6-gun pages look so fucking sweet, bro. I can't.
Look, in my defense, we did forget to leave. I forgot to put a guy in, and Brian never checked me over like he was supposed to. So I guess it's his fault too.
Yeah,
anyway,
absolutely.
We forgot to put a guy in for a drawn-in tier in the last book.
Right.
But that guy is not just going to get himself drawn into this book.
Yes.
He's also getting 3 pages.
Yes. So, like the actual pages of original art.
Yeah.
Or well, no, I mean, you already volunteered. Did you already volunteer to do that, or am I volunteering?
Yeah, no, I volunteered to do
it. Okay, all right.
I told you. I said we'll give him 2 pages that he appears in, an extra page, and then I'm sure he'll be happy with that. You know
Absolutely. Absolutely. So it's just like, because it's our way of saying, I'm sorry.
I told Brian about that. I said, we're going to do this. And he goes, fuck that dude.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's not that I actually give a fuck.
Because I can sell those pages.
But at least
for
pretend
money.
that you give a fuck. At least pretend that you give a fuck. Brian and crew, who would you cast for El Borak?
Antonio Banderas, but he's kind of old now.
Right. Vincent Perez. Because it has to be a guy that's a little swarthy.
He's got to be an American Texan, though, like he's Black Irish. If you go like look up his his actual descent. I would say if they weren't so fucking criminally overused, I would use Oscar Isaacs or fucking Pedro Pascal. I'd go Pedro Pascal would be perfect, but he's just so fucking overused.
Yeah, yeah. No, both of them would be good, actually.
Pedro Pascal.
This is a little off subject.
Yeah, he is.
I was watching. I don't know why we watched. I think we were just bored. We watched Bloodshot.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
the fucking movie.
Yeah, it's so bad. It's almost as bad as that Wolfman standee that they had. Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Oh, you really?
My bad. Saturday, I'm gonna fuck that shit up though.
You're gonna do me like that? You're gonna do me
fool
like that?
You think trash can outside
bring that
right
shit
now,
up, and you think that I'm not gonna fucking show that shit?
That fool's digging in my trash can right now, dude. He hasn't got a pug nose. I'm like, what the fuck, bro? You're gonna come out here and
this was the original shit, but then somebody just recently posted a picture. Shit, did I save that?
Oh, it's a video, dude.
What is this?
Over TikTok.
Wait, what is this?
It's the new Wolfman movie, which
I was
worried about. I was
either Wolfman or fucking wolf troll bait, one of the two.
So it's not good.
It's a remake. It's a
horrible.
remake of
no way it could be that.
Yeah, the last Wolfman they put out was fucking fun. Why are they trying to redo it? Like,
no, I mean it's because it still looks good, and they could just continue on from there. As far as I'm concerned, it's a Victorian piece, so
it should have.
Fuck it. I mean, it's not that bad. You're not going to make another one that's as good as that. I'm sorry, it's not going to happen.
No, it was too good.
I bet you $5 that the next Wolfman remake isn't going to be as good as the.
It's like doing the Crow. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not going to do better than the first Crow.
Yeah, there's a lot of people.
I really like the second one, but
the second one's but the new one.
It's not Eric Draven either. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. It's like why? Well, but you know what happened? First of all, David Goyer, the writer, was a fan. He really loved that movie. And then he went on the online forums and asked the fans, what would you like to see? But most especially, what would you not want to see? And they all said this, like the one thing that everybody said, it can't be Eric Draven. It can't be Eric Draven. It can't be Eric Draven. It can't be.
And he was like, it'd be a good idea. Let's do Eric Draven.
He was good. He was actually going to write. He actually was going to make it like with a story with Jack the Ripper, like what it was going to be one of Jack the Ripper's victims, which sounds really kind of bizarre.
Absolutely, that would have been fucking amazing.
Sounds pretty dope, actually.
And then the studio said, no, we want the same thing but different.
Why didn't he just lie and just say, no, you don't understand? It's Eric Draven versus Jack the Ripper.
Well, because he had to write the script for City of Angels in like 2 weeks.
He was killing it back then, David Goyer.
Oh, he was the comic book guy.
His movies were good. They're like, I'd say he's like about 100%. They're all killer. I mean, obviously there's a couple bad ones, but
Blade 3. The fucking I'm
not going to mention it, but it's like Blade 3 is like so much better than the Marvel shit that's out now. Like I thought that was a bad movie. I thought that was a bad movie until I seen the last 20 Marvel movies.
Dude, the only thing with the movie really is the FX. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like so fucking primitive back then. You know? Like,
well, for me, it was. I mean, I don't know. It was to me the effects didn't bother me too much.
The CGI was dated.
Yeah.
The day it came out.
I didn't like Dracula. I didn't like the Drake. I
he was terrible.
I respected the concept, but not for Blade. I want like classic Dracula for Blade. Like classic.
I mean, it was. You would say it was better or worse than Morbius?
Yeah. Oh, I didn't watch all of Morbius. It's probably better than Morbius.
Oh, you're so lucky you never seen all of Morbius.
I refuse because I'm a Morbius fan. right? I loved that character when I was a kid.
Yeah,
and I don't want to see him raped by fucking Jared fucking Leto, fucking male
Dude,
model.
it wasn't Jared Leto, dude. I'm telling you, it was not Jared Leto. It was whoever directed that fucking movie. Totally in just completely destroyed that movie, dude. There were decisions made on that movie that should never have been made, ever. You know?
Yeah, well, I mean, they were just that, and also Jared Leto, first of all, male model, not a real actor, and second, the fucking guy was like, yeah, no makeup. Like,
Dude,
no,
Matt Smith was
I'm not
worse.
gonna shave my beard or anything like that. Like, no, you have to do it all CGI because look at me, I'm fucking Leto, motherfuckers.
Dude,
right?
Matt
I'm the most
Smith
gorgeous man
was-
on the face of the earth.
Was one of the worst parts of that movie. I'm telling you, Matt Smith.
Everybody that's seen that, well, not everybody that's seen that movie, but a lot of people who have seen that movie say that it seems as if he literally just didn't give a fuck. That he was just like, fuck it.
It was terrible, dude. Like it was, I was like, dude, I was like, dude, fucking Morbius is gonna be the shit. Because the previews look good. You know what I'm saying?
I knew it had Jared Leto in it. From that moment, I was out.
Jared Leto looks like fucking like Morbius. You know, like from the comic.
Yeah, but
he looks like him.
He couldn't fucking act. That guy, I mean, look, he's fine if he's in a supporting role. He's fine in American Psycho. He's fine in Fight Club. But you don't put that guy center stage.
I would agree a little that his acting isn't the greatest in the world. But he would have been great in this movie if the director was a better captain on this.
Maybe.
Because it was horrible.
This is the Wolfman design.
No fucking way.
Yeah, does that look great?
That's a troll, dude. That's troll bait. There's no way it's that.
You're making Troll 4?
This is what I think this is. This is what I think.
Looks like an old man. There's no way that's what it is. It's troll bait.
I think no. It's going to be CGI, right? This is something that they put out to muddy the waters, so that when they come out with the actual thing, even if it sucks, you're gonna be like, "Well, that was well much better than this."
Yeah, maybe.
It's fucking Blumhouse, man. It's like, look, and they've made a lot of shit that I like. But this is by the same guy who did the Invisible Man remake.
Oh, God.
This is not how you reboot the fucking Universal monsters. I'm fucking sorry.
Did anybody here check out Chaos?
With Jason Statham?
With Jeff Goldblum?
No.
No. I don't think if you've
heard dude. Like it's actually pretty, it's like if the gods existed today. You know what I'm saying? Like the Olympus god, like, Greek gods. Dude, it's really fucking good, dude. Like, and Jeff Goldblum is a fucking psychopath in that movie. He's Zeus. You know?
Oh, I've heard of that. Yeah, I've heard of that.
Jeff Goldblum as Zeus?
Yeah,
really?
Yes,
dude, he is a fucking psychopath in that fucking movie, dude. It's crazy.
When he's on point, he's on point, he's on point. And they put him in a really good, good role.
For sure.
I thought the editing in this movie was a little choppy. Like some things just jumped into other scenes. Like they didn't have enough
I did too.
Explanation. Like, well, what the fuck? What's he doing out here? He's like walking through it, like riding through a canyon, like this shit's falling on him. Like there need to be
right. They're gonna decide to drop a mountain on Maurizio Merli, which of course is a huge fucking mistake. You don't get rid of fucking Maurizio Merli that fucking easy.
The transitions in this movie were horrible in some spots.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Some of the Foley was pretty bad too at the end when he was walking around in the cave. It was like clack. It's like, dude, that's dirt. It's not like a horse walking around.
I agree with all of that, but still, it was a pretty good movie.
Oh yeah, it's still one of the best. But still one of the best spaghetti westerns I've seen. Like I was gonna say that.
That's okay. Like before we were talking about before you came in, we were talking about the music, and I was explaining the whole DeAngelis Brothers thing, right?
Yeah.
And somebody like in Koepp, like I said, there's this horrible soundtrack with it's not that the whole soundtrack is horrible, but there's like this warbling hippie chick, like save Koepp.
I know what you're talking about.
Technically, it's horrendous. So what somebody did on Cinemageddon, which is like the greatest site that the internet has ever seen, it's where you could go and download torrents of all this shit. all the hard to find.
What is this called? Cinema what?
Cinemageddon, right? It was the shit. It doesn't exist really anymore because it got taken over by like Hobo with the Shotgun people. They came in and sort of took it over, and it's shit now. But back in the Disney, you could get all the dope shit there, right? Shit like this. And so somebody basically did a fan edit of Keoma where they got rid of the shitty music and they put in new music. And everybody was like, you motherfucker.
I thought it was
you
great.
Motherfucker, you fucking piece of shit.
No, I like the new music. I thought the new music was awesome.
Do you not understand that part of the appeal of movies like Keoma and this?
I don't know what you're talking about. Like that, the original music actually hurt my ears. Like it made me think bad thoughts.
When the sun goes down. Yeah, I mean,
in this one, they had me fooled, dude. At first, I was like, that's some Tom Waits shit, and then I was like, here's the gay.
Some of it sounds like Bowie. It sounds like three different singers. Like because you have like the baritone guy, like and then you have sounds like Bowie when it goes into the second part, and then sometimes they play like the very last verse that starts sounding like the Beatles, or at least some of the materials. Like, I actually like the music in here, the singing shit.
I do too.
Towards the end though, they took the vocals out and you just had the melody, and I thought that was a little more effective in certain spots. But I know that they have to have the singing in here because that's part of the trope of Spaghetti West.
But yeah, it's specifically these late spaghettis that had, because like I said, it's like the DeAngelis brothers could imitate anybody. So they wanted Leonard Cohen, they couldn't get Leonard Cohen, so they just had to do Leonard Cohen. You do Leonard Cohen, and then they did the Hunter from the Future. And Kelsey Shannon, by the way, is doing covers for the Italian versions, which are going to be printed here in the United States for the first time. And I've got a rock hard dick waiting for those. They wanted Queen. They wanted Queen because Flash Gordon had come out around the same time, and so then the DeAngelis brothers did Queen. Right, whoever you wanted them to imitate, they would imitate. But yeah, this fool found out the hard way. You could drop a fucking mountain on Maurizio Merli and he will still fuck you up. That mountain is not nearly fucking enough.
Right?
See, that was better. Just hit him in the forehead.
And of course we got John Steiner, man. John Steiner is really in a lot of movies from this period, and he's always great. Yeah, this is like the 4K Blue Underground trailer.
But as you can see, I know other languages.
Like the kill you language.
These men have got to stick to working and not be distracted with disgusting spectacles of Babylon.
Almost looked like he had a jailhouse teardrop on his face.
I love how they torture Blade in here, though, man. They really torture
him up.
Shit out of him.
Yeah, they fuck him
You know
up.
what I mean? Like more and more at the end too. You know, like he just suffers.
Yeah, he takes that's the thing. It's like he takes an ass whooping.
He takes it harder than Harmonica Boy, and I'm sorry. He takes it harder than Harmonica Boy because it just keeps piling on him. Literally rocks like piling on him. Then his lady gets taken out. Then he gets buried. Then his dad dies. Then he gets stuck in his throat.
He gets pummeled.
He gets his eyes sewed shut. You know what I mean? Then he goes blind. I'm like, right. I'm like,
they fuck him up.
I guess he's at the top so far. Like, I don't think anyone's got it as hard as him so far.
Django, maybe? Got his hands crushed, dude.
Yeah, but still though. Like, this all the things, you know. This guy's like Keanu Reeves, man. He's got so much shit that's happened to him. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah. And that's what makes this a hero that you can kind of get behind and identify with.
Totally. I love that shot right there. So much action. It kept going and going. I also like the.
We ain't got nothing.
Yeah, this movie was full of action.
Either you all return to work immediately, or I order my men to.
Now,
I think Verhoeven took a. Oh, I love that shot. Sorry.
No. I'm sorry. You're gonna say something about Verhoeven?
Yeah, I think Verhoeven took a little inspiration from this movie on the scene where RoboCop's trying to learn how to shoot again. He's got, he's there with his partner and she's showing him how to aim. Where he's making all the tomahawks or whatnot, the little hatchets, and he's throwing them. He's trying to get back. So it's like he probably
Stone Age.
Probably took that from this movie, like trying to get his aiming back. You know, that whole like scene, that whole idea.
That could be. Mining camps, of course, great locations in movies like this. I'm pretty sure this was shot on the same locations as Koepp, because this looks like the plague victim camp, right? Where they have all the where they put all the plague victims. Looks like the same place, but of course, it's just like a mining camp. That's also perfect as a symbol of like oppression. Right? Because what did this guy do? He like murdered his father and took his land and basically graped it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, destroyed the land.
Beautiful forest and turned it into like a toxic waste dump, really.
Yeah.
What's up, Geekmen?
That's another thing he did. It's like more and more things. Just the layers.
Yeah.
You know,
that's a thing that I like to do to my heroes.
Yeah, too, torture them, dude. You know,
is like, how much can you fucking
the juggernaut, right?
Hit them with, and it can't be just physical shit. It has to be emotional shit.
Yeah, dude.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah,
Brian.
Yeah,
this guy right here, Geekmen Masters of the Thunder Nerds in the chat. They do a show called It Freaking Figures, and it's about action figures and the people who design them and shit like that.
Oh, cool.
Do you got one of your little gorillas right there handy?
One of my what?
One of your gorillas. One of your little.
No, dude, I lost all. Oh, well, you mean the
3D printed one?
Oh, the 3D printed one. Yeah. Because like my toy collection is gone, baby, gone.
Check that out, Dustin.
Still got a bunch of these.
6-gun gorilla.
Thank you, my boy Sim. My boy Sim printed this for me, saved my ass, rescued my ass, really. Because, like I said, these were like 2 years late because I just had trouble finding somebody that would fucking make them and actually do it. And and there was some gay ops, I believe.
Now, Sim might be somebody, Dustin, that you might consider having on your show because he does make a lot of that kind of shit.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he does. Hail, Sim.
Your wealth can get you anything with a price on it. Men even die for it. But it can't buy you the one thing you've never had.
Human compassion.
Just shoot him in the back. Come on.
Human kindness. Now, this is a guy that's going around blasting people and fucking chopping their fucking hands off with a fucking axe, and he's lecturing them on human kindness. But it's like when he maims Donald O'Brien, the guy pulled a fucking gun on him. He just as easily could have fucking put a bullet in his head.
Yeah, and he let him go. You know.
Yep.
Human kindness.
Every so often, I
love how he came back too. You know, saved him, and he fucked him over again.
Yep.
Great.
And then what?
Like a snake, you're a traitor. Yeah.
Back on home.
Just like Judas, you sold me.
Hold it. End of the line, friends.
Good name for a movie.
Oh man! And then when they just massacre these fucking innocent people.
No monkey business.
Yeah, that's pretty brutal. Ouch.
Yeah, it's like this is one of the late spaghettis, so it's not like people are just clutching their chests and like spinning and falling down. They're using like big old fucking bullet squibs here. Shoot an old lady in the head. That's the fucking spaghetti west. You would not see shit like this in the American westerns. Like there are certain people that were fucking off limits. Fucking kids, priests,
me, Ma.
old ladies. Nobody's fucking safe.
Not me, Ma.
Okay, I'm back. Did y'all miss me?
Don't shoot, Granny.
Intensely, Preston.
Also, no stormtroopers in the spaghetti west.
Your absence left a void in our soul.
Left a void in my life.
Everybody hit what they were shooting at.
Oh, yeah.
Get me Vala.
You believe in justice.
That's just dope.
And your hand will swing the axe, and your conscience will be satisfied.
That's the worst fucking music ever.
bullshit.
I feel like my ears were just gaped.
Bullshit. It's one of my favorite things. It's one of my favorite things about this movie.
Who can tell?
Just having your ears gaped.
Can't bet it.
This is the kind of shit I would listen to when I was playing Red Dead Redemption 2 online. I just had nothing but fucking spaghetti Western soundtracks going. Yeah.
While banging dudes.
Me
That's what you do.
just what's your real name?
Cowboy.
Lasting motherfuckers. But I mean, Red Dead Online was such shit. You couldn't even play cards. Right? So there was like no role playing whatsoever. It's just like at the very least you should be able to play cards, right?
Oh, you were role playing. You were definitely role playing if you was listening to this music.
My name is in the wind.
Goddamn right. Goddamn right. The whole point of fucking role playing games. Creating a character and like, you know, pretending to be the character.
Right there, that's hot.
Motherfucker.
I will say this, like
Love that.
I know.
like the spaghetti westerns did have some really cool characters.
They did, dude.
Awesome
Like
characters.
I'm talking about like the facial features of
Yeah.
that, you know, like it
Yup.
really, yeah,
Look like classic comic characters, you know.
exactly, yeah.
It's just smoke
They-
coming out.
They love those interesting faces, right? And there's like a bunch of actors in this actually that, you know, don't have major roles. Like they're just goons, but they're guys that have been in like a bunch of these, like classics. Like Nello Pazzafini, for instance, is one of the actors. Let me see if I can find a fucking quick pic of him. But it's like if you know these movies like as well as I do, when you see these faces, for some reason they make you happy. You're just like, oh, it's that dude.
That dude again.
All right, so check it out. You guys crossed on something. You said something about characters that you create, right? Yeah. And then you role play them, right?
Yeah.
The character in my avatar right there, Dante's Inferno. Yeah. It's a character that we played in the Slaughterville game. And Laurie, of course, played Karen Needlemeyer. Well, tomorrow on this network at 6 p.m. Eastern is the premiere of Killer Karen. And Laurie is going to come out as Karen Needlemeyer, as the penultimate Karen. And she's going to interview the creator of Slaughterville. And it is fucking hilarious, guys. I'm in character as Dante. She's in character as Laurie from the RPG game.
That sounds great.
Oh, dude, it was hilarious. We did it. She edited all the parts together and played it for me earlier today, and I laughed my fucking ass off, dude.
I gotta give a shout out to Homeboy. He sent me a fucking box full of stuff. Full of role-playing games and graphic novels, and like I sent him a copy of the 6-gun TPB, but I was just like,
he sent you all the games and everything, huh? Yeah, he sent me
everything, dude.
He sent me a big old box of shit, man. I was like,
yeah, let me get that shit. Let me get that shit real quick.
Yeah, that he actually in the novel that launched today on BackerKit, the Slaughterville novel, you can actually order cards for the Slaughterville game, like exclusive cards of me, of Laurie, of Chris, of Jeff Bracey, who comes out on the show sometimes. He's the doctor in that game, right? Uh-huh. Dude, we had so much fun playing those games, and the characters stuck. People started drawing them. People started getting, getting involved in it. And the show, though, that Laurie came up with, this doing it in character, live action, not, not as an RPG game, but coming out here doing it live.
Right.
Me as Dante and her as Karen. It was fucking funnier than hell, dude.
That's awesome.
I can't wait to hear other people's responses to it. It's going to be on tomorrow about 6 o'clock. It's not long. It's like 20 minutes, half hour long.
Oh, yeah.
But it's funnier than hell. And we already have other people that have signed up to be the guest on the show, knowing they're going to get trashed by Karen. You know what I mean? Because she she kept calling Chris Brown Pants the whole time.
Oh shit! Right up to your face and dissed you.
That's the game. Okay, that's the tabletop. Yeah. That book you just showed is part of the RG. We played that. We played that actual game live on
an expansion, I believe.
The director's cut or something. And yeah,
Gone Hunting.
Gone Hunting is fun as hell, dude.
I know you were saying.
And then Gods of Metal? Yeah, Gods of Metal. Yeah. That one's fun too, dude. All these games are good, dude.
Yeah, and they threw in some fucking dice. I mean,
bloodstained dice from Slaughterville. Did you look at them? They're bloodstained.
Let me see this. But it's just like, I don't have that much shit to send to him. Do you know what I'm saying? I was like,
that's
not bad. I was just like, you sent me too much shit, bro.
Look at the dice, though. Are they bloodstained?
Oh, they are actually.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, they are bloodstained.
That's cool shit, huh?
Yeah, but they kind of look like candy. I might do something stupid and eat them. Like a fucking Tide Pod. Yeah.
But yeah, he launched his Slaughterville the novel today on BackerKit.
God damn. How's it doing?
You know, I know it's already funded. I actually proofread that book. I loved it. It's good stuff.
He's certainly welcome to come on here and pimp that shit if he is so inclined.
Well, we'll let him know next time on Horror Movie Club. We'll have him come out.
All right.
You know,
do
in Slaughterville, right? You know,
do Slaughterhouse and have him promote Slaughterville.
Oh, you know what? I would love to do next week. I would love to do Return of the Living Dead Part 3. Have you guys seen that?
I haven't seen Part 2 or 3.
Wait,
well, Part 2, stay the fuck away from.
I heard Part
3 is with the chick, right? The
yes.
heavy metal chick.
Yes.
Dude.
Now the cool thing
we were watching it the other night.
That's amazing.
I couldn't find 2 anywhere. I was looking for it the other night. There's all these movies I was looking for.
You don't need to see it. You don't need to see it. It's by Ken Wiederhorn, the guy who did Shockwaves, right? Which is one of the greatest zombie movies ever made. The one with the aquatic Nazi zombies.
Mm-hmm.
He also did the worst zombie movie ever made, which is Return of the Living Dead Part 2. It's just a straight up
remake of 1, isn't it?
But it's like remember how the original was it was humorous, it had a lot of comedy in it, but it was also still a horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even a little bit of horror. It's not a little bit of horror. It's just shit. It's just shit. It's so bad.
And I was like, 2 is way better than 1. Like, it was so much.
2 is an abortion. 2 is an abortion, and so I had no interest in 3. And then 3 just went like direct to video, and I didn't even rent.
That's why I didn't rent it.
I didn't rent it. I was mad. I was madder than a motherfucker because there's 2.
Your attitude almost made you miss out on
I know. But what happened was it was on late night cable.
Dude, it's so good, dude. It's
in the box. I remember seeing the box of Blockbuster in the day with that
Matt,
cover with the spikes, you know.
Yeah, if you see that movie, you're gonna be like, dude, I have to write a heavy metal song about this chick.
Right?
No, I'm serious. It's that bad. When she accepts she's a zombie, and she decides to go full war horse in these motherfuckers.
Yeah,
dude. I've never seen somebody take trash and just make themselves into like a killing machine. Like it's fucking sick.
Yes, yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. Yeah, so we should probably do that next.
I'm down.
Look at these handsome Great Danes.
That was the shot I was talking about, where he's looking up, and you get the dog.
That's awesome. That's what I'm saying. These movies have like great fucking
cinematography. Yeah,
it's like
a little bit too, and looks really good too.
Dude, all this belongs into your morgue file. You know what I'm saying? Like all of it.
Yeah, man.
Badass.
Look at those handsome faces. They're handsome boys. I love Great Danes. My goodness, they're like
I do too, but the poop.
Oh, dude, they're like the size of a fucking small horse.
It's like cleaning up elephant poop.
I would imagine. No, they're huge, and it's funny because it's just like their other dogs are huge too, but they're also kind of bulky and muscular. And Great Danes are very sort of like they're very like there's something awkward.
They become human. They think they're human after a while.
Kind of Scooby Doo about them.
My giant Dobermans, actually, they used to think they were human too. Like my last one, the one that died of bone cancer, like he would come and sit on the couch with you.
Loki.
Like he would put his butt on the couch.
Yeah.
And sit like that. Like it was, and the rest of him would be off the couch. Like he'd be holding his front end up with his paw.
Yes.
And he would just put his butt on the couch like he was sitting like a dude. You know what I'm saying? Like,
he's all drinking a beer.
Great Danes. It was like, that. Yeah.
They'll
like put their butt like in your lap.
Exactly.
And just kind of just like, have their legs on the floor, but their butt in your lap. It's just like the world's biggest lap dogs. Yeah.
And when he would get scared, like when it rained, he would climb on my lap. It didn't matter what I was doing. If I was painting or if I was on a computer, it didn't matter. He would jump in my lap because he was scared. I'm like, dude, you weigh 110 pounds.
You're too big for the lap. Like, no, I'm not. Yeah, they're adorable. They're super cute. By the way, this actor, John Steiner, he's the only guy in the movie who actually does his own looping. I don't know if you noticed that. He's the only guy that's actually doing his own voice.
I haven't noticed that.
Yeah.
Dude, did he star in any American movies? Because he looks really familiar. Like, he's got an interesting face.
Is he German or what?
I think. Well, I think he's originally of. I think he's from German extraction. Certainly, the name Steiner, right? And he looks very German with the
Dude, he looks like a villain
and everything.
Yeah, he looks like he should be a villain.
And that's what he was usually cast as. Yeah, he was usually cast as a villain. But the funny thing is that he lives now in Los Angeles and is a successful real estate agent.
That's crazy.
Evidently,
like I said,
I was just thinking how crazy it would be to be buying a house or something like that, and like, I'm like, wait a second.
Well, I figured either real estate agent or lawyer. Like that's
right. Something shisty.
Yeah. I noticed with his accent too. Like he would pronounce words like he would have a nice like kind of cowboy accent, but then the end of the syllables of the word would kind of go into like a German-esque sound or European sound. I'm like,
right.
He's European, but he's putting on an American accent too.
Right. And then there's also a little bit of a British accent, what sounds like a British accent, because when Germans speak English, they speak Queen's English, right? Which makes sense, right? So they're speaking the original English, they're speaking the English as opposed to like American English or, it's funny when you're listening to German speaking English.
It's like going to the country and everybody's swearing that you have an accent.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah. Yep.
You got an accent.
Right.
But oh yeah, dude, you missed my whole fucking rap about Maurizio Merli. We need to take another fucking look at Maurizio Merli fucking people up. Because that's what Maurizio Merli generally does in movies. He's fucking angry at the system and he's gonna fucking take it out on like a bunch of punks.
I remember I watched the intro of this movie, fell asleep, and I was just like, that's just dope, but then I never knew what movie it was again. My Name is Blade. With the whole scene where he chops dudes. I was like, damn.
Oh, dude, that fucking title.
I could never find it.
That title belongs on a fucking graphic novel. I'm just
for
saying.
Sure. Yeah. So that's Merli's only Western, but like I said, they weren't. That's pretty much like the last spaghetti Western. Mannaja is the last spaghetti Western. I'm not saying technically there may have been another one after that, but it's generally. It's the last hurrah for the genre. And so then he went right into making these movies, the crime movies, because this is what replaced the spaghetti Western. Ciao bella. Like, there's just some punks out there like robbing a car.
Let me translate because I am part Italian. You just fuck you, bitch.
So these punks are fucking like stripping a fucking car, right? And this guy comes out to check because he hears the alarm, and he's just like, it's just a bunch of kids fucking, you know, stripping a car. Don't fucking say that shit around Maurizio Merli. So that guy's laughing about it. He thinks it's funny, but Maurizio Merli does not.
Kind of like folded over his head like the Hulk.
Oh, he's not
punching down on his nose, dude.
No, so he respects this guy just enough to actually.
What, we just had some beers in there, bro. What are you doing? Just an icebox. Chill out.
Yeah, let me. I think I have
bomb
another one. Well, this is the one. Oh yeah, here we go. This video's entitled "Maurizio Merli teaches some punks a lesson."
That's awesome.
Gaetano, guarda come gioca un campione. Scommetti 100.000 lire?
Piantala, non rompere. Lasciami giocare.
Look at that stare. He's like hell.
Di tua sorella.
That's what you get. That's what you get.
I like the aggression. It feels like he's really mad, you know, like with each kill.
Yeah.
The only reason I like that Western was because of this dude right here. That's the only reason.
You can hit somebody and look pissed, but he's like really mad.
Hai capito? Stupido figlio di papà! Voglio vedere se ci riprovi un'altra volta! E anche voi! Siete della stessa razza! Carogne!
Oh, was that what's his name?
Maurizio Merli.
Was that Paul Nashi right there?
No.
It looked just like him.
Like
his little brother, at least.
Stocky dude.
Go chop that guy in the neck. Right in the jaw, dude.
I like the music.
I know the music of these.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. I ain't gonna lie. It's like some Dirty Harry shit, you know.
Yeah, so that's a whole.
What a rookie! He couldn't even fishtail into a good chase. Come on, man.
He's too mad. He's passionate.
Spin that car around. Do it like you know.
So mad. Here's my thing with Maurizio Merli, right? He was one of those guys. Like when I started watching these movies, I was just like, he's just always so mad, right? And anger is the easiest emotion for an actor, right? It's the easiest emotion. And that's why when you see a lot of like celebrities that are doing reels to try to get jobs acting in films, they're always angry, right? Where's my money? Where's my money, motherfucker? Where's my money, fool? Shit like that.
It was really impressive when we were hunting for an actor to play Nicky the Pipe for Rockabilly Road Trip. Like some of the submissions were just fucking amazing. Like the guy we actually chose, two guys stood out to us. One of them we accepted. And he dropped out. He said, this wouldn't be good for my career. And I was like, what?
It's like it's porn or something.
Exactly. I was like, what? He goes, my agent said I probably shouldn't do this. And I'm like, okay, dude. Like, and I checked up on him recently and he's like doing nothing with his life. So I was like, okay. So
do you know who was in Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
Well, wait a minute. Like the guy we actually chose, like they both did like really good fucking like submissions. Like one of them, like the dude that we accepted and he decided he didn't want to do it. He did one where he was sitting in a chair in a dark room and he was drinking a beer and he was like explaining his master plan. And I was like, dude, that's really fucking good. Like he really,
he went out of his way.
You know,
he brought it.
And then the other one, the one that was our runner up, like his submission came in afterwards. So I don't know which one we would have chose if they both hit at the same time. But the second one, he was like explaining like his master plan, and he's like trying to hold the door open like there was like zombies trying to get in. You know what I'm saying? And this motherfucker was so like he never had anybody pushing on the other side of the door. Like he's like jerking the door back and forth. And I was like, dude, just fucking sold.
Yeah.
The problem is that when he actually showed up and we flew everybody out to kind of do the stuff, like he was way taller than we thought he was. Like way taller than Nicky the Pipe in the book.
Had the Wolverine thing, huh?
Yeah, it was cool.
I was gonna say about the next generation. You got Mortensen, you got McConaughey, and you got Zellweger. They all came out of that, you know.
Where's Brian?
I don't know. He ran off.
I'm
talking
back. I'm
ran
back.
off.
I lost. Yeah, my internet went out for a second. My interwebs went out. So what happened with with the actor when he came out? He like what was it, diva or something?
You know what? I don't know if I have those on file, but while we're going, before we end the show, I'll see if I can pull them up, and we can. I don't think there's no
that could be
copyright.
fun.
I mean,
No.
And yeah, go ahead and keep going. I'll look for them and see if I can.
Okay.
Find them.
Okay. But yeah, like once again, it's just like.
Smacking the shit out of everybody.
On the Cinemageddon homepage, it would say, they would have certain rules, and it's just like if you fail to follow the rules, you will suffer the wrath of Maurizio Merli.
Yeah, they'll just smack the shit out of you.
Yup. He like bounced his. It's just like, dude, yeah, I think you got him.
I'd like to see him fight Klaus Kinski.
Right. Yeah. So yeah. So I'm watching one of these movies, right? And I'm finding myself really not liking Maurizio Merli. And then there's a scene, I wish I could have found it, where like there are these punks are harassing this woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
Being kind of grapey and everything. And I think they let her go, or somehow she gets away, and like they got her purse or something. And the guy turns around, and who's there? Maurizio Merli. He's like, "Ugh, just starts going crazy, smacking him around. And that's when I was like, okay, now I like this guy a lot. Now I love this dude. Because that's the point. That's the point, is that he's just out of control, fucking angry.
Yeah, that's cool.
Jesus,
I like that.
Jesus Christ,
he's like Berserker kind of.
Yeah, funny shit, man, funny shit. But man, like the when it came to like the Italian crime films, he was like in the trashy ones. That is to say, I can't say that he was in any of like the classics, like the ones that are, that are critically well regarded, right?
Yeah.
But movies like this at that time were were making bank. Like that's just kind of what people wanted at that period of time, because there had been such a crime problem, a street crime problem in Italy. And then you have to have the years of lead. I don't know if you've ever heard about that, when there was just like an explosion of gun violence in Italy. Yeah. It got really bad. I mean, remember, you're talking about the country that elected a porn star to parliament, and it was.
Hey guys, I'm gonna have to check out. I got stuff I got to do.
All right, peace out, Pops.
Peace out, Pops.
Seeing you guys. I will see you next week.
Right. Peace.
Peace. That thing. Turn off that thing.
Oh, peace out. Like I've never been to Italy. I'd love to go someday.
Right, me too.
Rome, Florence,
Venice.
Venice. Oh my god,
that'd be dope.
Although I'm a little reluctant to go to Venice, because I know that in Venice the Venetians are very, very annoyed at all the tourists. Like it's driving them crazy. I mean, I lived in New York City, so you had a lot of tourists too, but I lived on the Lower East Side, so the tourists I would run into would be like, punk rockers from, Argentina or Brazil or someplace like that, right? And they'd be like, "Where's CBGB's?" I'd be like, "Okay, just go down that street and go around, be safe, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Welcome to New York, all that crap." But Yeah, evidently in Venice, like tourists are a problem. So it's just like, how can I go to Venice and like pass myself off as like not a tourist, right? Or get a heads up and just ask online. It's just like, okay, what kind of tourist shit like drives you crazy? So when I go there, I can like not do it. because if I'm in another country, I always feel like it's not like in America where you go to another state or another town. It's like you feel like, okay, like I'm representing for my people here, and I want to be well behaved and not act like a fucking entitled jerk, because some American tourists are pretty bad that way. You know.
Oh, for sure.
Don't give us a good name.
You gonna go see Beetleworth on tomorrow or what?
Beetlejuice? No.
Yep. Have you seen the like the scene, like the origin, his origin online, or like posting it?
No.
Yeah,
I saw the
filmed in
Hot
black
Wings,
and white
thing, but
yeah, they go into his full origin in the movie and they have it online. Like it's, you know, and it's like 5 minutes. It's all shot. Yeah, it's dope. It's all shot in black and white too. You know what I mean? It's all black and white, like the like the old Italian films. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
Burton
but
really wanted to do that. You know.
But here's the thing. Tim Burton hasn't made a good movie in like decades.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. No, this one looks pretty good though.
Been missing like crazy.
And mind you, this is a guy that has some classics. Edward Scissorhands. Ed Wood is his best movie for sure.
Yeah, he's got like at least 10 dope ass movies. And he's probably
Big
got like.
Fish.
I like Deadwood
Big
Scissorhands.
Fish.
I still think.
I even like Batman Returns. Can't stand Batman. Batman Returns, I actually kind of like.
Yeah.
But it's like, then it's just like you get to like. Well, here's the thing with Planet of the Apes, for instance, which is a total abortion. He said like I wouldn't know a good script if it bit me in the ass.
I'll be honest though.
I think that's one of the reasons why he's made so many bad movies. He says for some reason, I don't know why, he can't read a script and tell if it's any good.
I'll tell you this: like there was some good
Which
points.
baffles
Planet
me,
of the Apes, like the Tim Burton one.
Yeah,
they put Schwarzenegger in that.
God,
yay! That would be
no, I'm talking about
I
the costumes and like
set design,
like,
the music,
amazing.
It was like you got to realize,
dude,
there wasn't a lot of CGI. Like I don't think
No.
there was like a lot of traditional makeup.
It was
Like,
just the
movie.
fucking script that sucked. It was just the script that fucking sucked. That's all.
Have you seen
visually, it looked fucking amazing.
Yeah, it could have been better. But yeah, the new Beetlejuice. Check out the origin, dude. Check out the origin, and they keep it canon from the first movie. All the little details they tie it together. And this movie has more plot. It's more epic. You know what I mean? But it's still like a straight up sequel. You know, because he said I wanted to have a sequel. He's like, because I am Lydia. That's me. That's always been me. You know, but I needed to kind of the story needed to kind of work. You know, and she's grown up and she's like a Elvira now. So she's like Joe Bob Briggs now.
Still looks good.
That's who she is in the movie. She's a horror film, host. And so
really? Oh,
yes.
Wow.
Yes, and then they go back to the house because the dad's dead. You know what I mean?
So it's like dad's dead. So it's like she stayed goth basically.
Yeah, and then she has a kid, and so they got to go back and she has to see her stepmom.
Ortega.
Her stepmom's a widower, you know, and you still have Catherine O'Hara. Her husband built the last movie. He was the set designer, Bo Welch.
Yeah.
So they met on that movie, and it was very like low budget too. Like I've seen a bunch of the interviews, or they use a lot of practical effects. I mean, not low budget, practical effects. And no, it looks good. And
I hope it is. I hope it is. I'm actually actively rooting for that to be a good movie.
Yeah, they're already trying to cancel it. They're saying it's too much too chauvinistic of a movie, like men going after women and shit.
Oh, great.
Good.
But there's like a scene. He's like, you got to put your guts into it.
That's encouraging.
He rips open his stomach and his guts fly out like on the trailer. They're all like rotted guts, like just flying all over the room. I'm like, damn, that's crazy for like a TV commercial, you know?
I just remember seeing the original Beetlejuice in the theater, baked, like very, very fucking high.
Damn,
like we had smoked hash, right?
It's almost like they're like, Beetlejuice is trying to make money. We got to cancel that shit immediately.
Yeah, no, like Grace Randolph already canceled it. And Burton said, like, we're not going to make even if it's like, we're not going to go and just make like a third one. You know what I mean? Like it has to be, you know, because they're really
organic
hard and like
something that's like,
But they can't wait too long because they're all old as fuck. So they gotta they gotta make Beetlejuice like within the next 10 years or less, dude. Because it's like, you know.
Yeah, but do they need to? That's the thing.
If they're gonna do it,
like
the cartoon has sick ass lore. It's like won Emmys and shit. It's on Tubi now for free. The cartoon's dope, and it's a different universe.
Cartoon was badass.
It's a different Beetlejuice. I have it all. I bought it like a year ago, but I can't. I don't have my. But anyway, it's on Tubi.
Is that shit on Tubi?
Now it is because of the movie, and
because everybody's telling me that that's great, and I've never bothered.
Fantastic,
with it.
And it's a different. It's a parallel. It's a different universe. He's a totally different Beetlejuice. But yeah, it's great. It's up there with Courage the dog, you know, like it's like gothic.
Oh, I love Courage the
fun.
Dude, Courage was so bad.
And the mask, you get a lot of the mask in there, you know, like that type of Jim Carrey mask.
Yeah.
So Beetlejuice is, but a dead version of it, you know. But, yeah, put it on. Don't watch more than like eight episodes at a time though, because you start to get it's fucking trippy.
The new Terminator anime series.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty good, dude. Dope. Somebody they called it out and said it was boring. I was like, boring. I was like, people are getting massacred in that motherfucker.
Well, people just want to hate.
Some people are just
like,
funny that way. Some people are just
like
funny
a lot of
way.
a lot of people just want to hate shit without even watching it, you know. Or just
I know.
In hate mode. They're just in hate mode, bro. You know. So, but I think Beetlejuice is going to do gangbusters. I think like people are just going to. I think people are just going to like
the retro
it,
shit. People want the retro shit.
I like how he's doing like all the cheesy like fucking Fanta and hot sauce and shit. Like he's selling out. Like he don't give a fuck. Like I like that, you know. Like he's interviewing Beetlejuice, you know, like with a hot sauce ad and shit. I like that, you know. I like seeing shit. I like seeing the sellout shit too, you know. Like fuck you know. Fuck it. Who cares? Oh, he even said too, like they talked to him about some fucking like politically correct shit, and he's like, nah, like we're not gonna do that. Like there's a fucking interview with him, you know. I was like, hell yeah. And they're like, well, what about Batgirl? He's like, that was a paycheck. You know, that movie was a paycheck. He's like, they're like, but it didn't come out. He's like, so what? he's just funny, dude.
Yeah. No,
I don't know. They don't like him though. They don't like him. You can tell.
Well, they don't like him because he doesn't fucking seem to give a fuck. He doesn't. The guy gives zero fucks, and he's like, I'm not like why do I need to be kissing people's asses? Why do I need to always be saying the right thing?
Yeah.
Right. It's just like. At what point in life are you successful enough and where you have enough and you have enough strength of character to like just be like, no, I'm not going to fucking just go along with like the current thing.
But
do you remember?
You have noticed, like, with the exception of Robert De Niro, like a lot of the old school actors like Sylvester Stallone,
Yeah.
And
they're not with it.
Kurt Russell.
They're like, I ain't doing that shit.
No, they're all and Harrison Ford. They're all like fucking Voltroning up now. They're gonna start like
Gibson,
a new Hollywood too.
Yeah.
So it's Mel Gibson, Harrison Ford, Sylvester Stallone, Mark Wahlberg.
Schwarzenegger going to be
a bunch
in there.
Of them, dude. They're all in a Voltron up and start a new. You know, they're finishing up like their fucking contracts with the movies they got coming out. All their Marvel bullshit, and then they're gonna start making like an alter. They're trying to anyway, but it's funny too because in the other Beetlejuice movie, you remember like that place that they would go to the Dietz, you know, to like that lady that like Beetlejuice's ex-worker where she had her throat cut, you know.
Yeah.
And like the dude is all flat, like going through the
waiting room, the waiting room in the afterlife, which is
so Beetlejuice runs that shit now. He runs that shit because obviously because that lady's dead or she's gone or something, so he's running that shit, you know. And so he's like drinking out of a dirty water bottle. Yeah, he's drinking out of a dirty water bottle machine, and he's you know what happened to me? You know, he starts talking about his origin, and at the moment you see where he's at, like the split second, you're like, oh, so that's who he is, you know? And you're like, that's where he came from. Like, oh, okay, that's pretty fucking dope, you know? I didn't know that, and that's pretty ballsy for them to just give you the whole origin right now. Like it's out there. It's not like it's pirated or anything, you know? And
that is
it's all black and white.
I definitely have to check that out. Look. I'm cautiously optimistic. I would say I'm cautiously optimistic. It's not something like with like The Crow, right?
No.
Where
dude.
I just immediately I was like, that's dog shit just from like the first picture.
Yeah. No, and you have every right to be caution.
For me, it's just like it's Beetlejuice, you know, and it's like all the same people that did the first one, and Willem Dafoe's in there, and he's an ex.
Oh, nice.
He's an ex. What's that horror film director that made the cheesy movies that Tim Burton made a movie about? Ed Wood. So there's an ex Ed Wood actor in this movie that becomes a netherworld detective, and that's Willem Dafoe. His name's like Wolf Hunter or Wolf
Wolf
that's Kragan or something. It's fucking dope, great. Dude. And he's going after Beetlejuice. Like, it's just and everyone, I don't know. I'm really excited. I'm gonna try to go see it on Sunday, hopefully.
Yeah, I'm like I said, I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm not like giving it the finger in it or anything. And fucking Winona, man, you gotta understand, man. Back in the Disney, that was my fucking wife.
Well, it looks like this movie is good, like written for you because it's got all the shit you like in it. You know, like the Ed Wood isms and the Joe Bob Briggs isms and fucking. It's still organically.
I hope it's good. I hope it's good. If I hear that it's dope, if everybody's like, that's dope, I'll go see it. I'm not going to go out and see it or just like sight unseen, like fucking Terrifier 3. Yeah, you know, of course.
Oh, me, I do that though. I don't listen to nobody. I don't listen to anybody.
I don't either.
No, and that's fine.
I never do that, and I never will.
You don't know that
ever.
But here's
that's
the thing.
Letting people make decisions for you. You can't.
But here's
the thing.
Yeah. But
you got to stop doing that. That's not cool.
Yeah.
Like,
no, dude.
We're all
here's the fucking thing. We've been fucked, and you know this, and you know
you're right to be cautious.
We've been fucked.
I'll be straight with you.
Bait and switch.
No, I agree, but I'll be.
I was like, fuck that shit until I hear from my homies, and if my homies are like, hey, you should check that out, I'll check it out.
But I'll be straight with you. Like when it comes to movies, I know within the first 10 minutes if I'm going to be cool with it. And I mean, I don't watch them in the theater anymore because it's like I'm not spending that kind of money to go ahead and be disappointed.
Yeah, but I mean, to me, going to the movies is something I do pretty much like once a month. It's a way to get out of the fucking house.
No, I get it. I'm just saying, like it's.
And to me, it's got everything the old Beetlejuice has in it, and what I've seen already, it's even more epic of a movie. So I'm I'm gonna go watch it. I'm gonna go. I don't give a fuck what anybody says about it, just from what I've seen and all the interviews and shit. And like it's just bigger and better. Like that's
me and the old lady were Beetlejuice fans. Like,
yeah,
I'll be straight with you. When I heard the cast who was going to be in it, I was like, nah, this is going to be epic.
Yeah, dude. Like it's. I'll be surprised if it sucks completely. You know, I don't think it's gonna be a perfect movie, but I think it's gonna be just as good as the first one. I don't know if it's gonna be better. That's a milestone. But if they can make it
especially
just as
with
good
your boy, especially with your boy coming back and playing Beetlejuice, I'm like, there's no way this could be bad. There's just none, dude. Like everything he's been hitting lately has been home runs.
Yeah, like spilling his guts all over Jason Trudeau and but Ryder, like
you understand. You understand, you know, the point I made that like Tim Burton has not made a good movie in 20 years.
No, I get that, but I'm saying like
I mean maybe I don't know. I like some of his shit though, but I'd have to go back and cross all those off all those.
It's ones. A while, man. It's been a long time.
I can name 10 movies probably I like by him. You know, like he's got some style. But yeah, I know what you mean.
No, he did, but that's the thing is that he's always been a visual stylist. Do you know what I'm saying?
What was the last movie he made?
Like, I mean,
that was good. That was good. Big Fish was the last one that I thought was good.
No, the last one that he made. Like I
have no idea.
Like
I have no idea. I don't pay attention to that shit.
Like I remember he made that movie about the dead dog, you know, and I thought that was fucking amazing. I love that.
Frank and Weenie. I never watched that.
Yeah, Frank and Weenie.
That's his first film. That's his first film.
There's two of them. He remade his own film.
I thought he created that when he was at Disney, like a short.
Yeah.
But he never did the whole movie. He did the whole movie later on.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
CGI.
Wow,
CGI.
That's how tuned out I am. That's how tuned out I am.
I'm wondering,
I didn't even know that.
Is how he got Disney's like grubby little hands off of that property, because usually if you create something while you're on the clock,
you probably made it for it.
You probably made it like a tug and war with those two for a while. They went through a lot of shit because they fired him and then rehired him, and there was all kinds of drama, you know, because they're like, well,
because he wouldn't bend. Yeah. And to be honest, after seeing everything he did, honestly, I was really against the Nicolas Cage Superman. Now I'm thinking, I kind of want to see what it would have been.
Oh yeah, totally, dude. Like after a while, I was like, damn, dude, I wanted to watch that, you know.
You can't help.
I don't know though. Like there was, like I don't know, some of his movies though, like that I didn't like in the beginning, like over the last few years. So I went back and watched, like, yeah, it was all right, you know, or it could have been a little doper, you know, a little better, you know, because he was doing a lot of like the Alice in Wonderland stuff, and those were kind of I don't know.
And the Wednesday series, dude. The Wednesday.
So I never watched that. I never watched.
I've seen it. I didn't think it was that bad. I thought it was okay.
Dude, they turned the Addams Family into Hogwarts.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a little bit, but I didn't.
It's
I didn't
fucking.
think it was bad. I thought it was okay. I was like, because
I'm not saying it's poorly made. I'm just saying that's not the Addams Family. That's fucking Harry Potter.
Yeah, but you got to realize too, like the Addams Family was always meant to be like just like a shitty TV series. Like it wasn't.
No,
I mean,
it was a strip. It was a comic strip.
Oh,
You see? Have you ever seen those?
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, I've
Yeah,
seen
by
those.
Charles Adams. That's why they're called the Addams Family, right? And
They
these
look
were
exactly like
one-panel
dude.
strips. These were one-panel comic strips that were in the New York
paper
magazine,
Oh, okay.
right?
Yeah.
And each of those, I mean, it blew up, right? It became popular, and then Hollywood was like, "Hey," they approached Adams and said, "Do you think you could make this into a TV show?" And he was like, "Oh, absolutely." So
Like,
he
yeah, for
needed
sure.
to come up with names. He needed to, because this is the freakiest thing. This is the freakiest thing. Those characters, none of them had names. Not a single
So
one.
it's even worse than what I was saying, because that's what I'm saying.
So-
Like Wednesday actually explained all that shit. You know
Yeah,
what
but
I'm
here's the
saying?
thing. Yeah, but here's the thing. They asked Adams to give the characters names.
Uh-huh.
And so he came up with, of course, Wednesday, Morticia, Gomez, Fester, right? Lurch, all those characters, right?
You know
Came up with all
you
those
know-
names.
You know he modeled Morticia after like Vampira back in the day. dude.
Vampira. Yeah. Yeah, most likely. Yeah. Oh yeah, and then there was one left over. There was one name that they didn't use. Pugsley was originally called Pubert.
What?
Yeah.
Hubert?
And then for like Addams Family values, I think like the second
Yeah,
Addams Family
They called him that or something.
movie, they had a new child and they named him Pubert.
I remember that.
That's
And
awesome.
the first Addams Family movie, I think, is hot garbage. The second one, I actually enjoy because they take a lot of those strips and turn them into scenes.
That's cool.
Right? So, like, that I thought was kind of cool. But
and you get Fester kind of like being more of a Fester in the movie rather than kind of becoming Fester, you know? Or
well,
I don't know.
It bummed me out with the Wednesday series because they had the perfect fucking Gomez.
Yeah,
Luis
no, everybody was
Guzman
perfect.
is a funky looking motherfucker.
He's perfect. Yeah.
And
I thought
looked
Wednesday was
like
okay.
the character from the fucking. He's
Strip.
as close as you could get to the actual character from the fucking strip.
Right? All of them.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. And so I thought that was cool, but then it was like
for me, Mars Attacks, that was a movie I hated when it came out as a kid, but then later on in life, I grown to appreciate what it was.
Me too, actually.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, now I know what it is.
Like what Tom Jones is an action hero.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's just like making those old 50s movies. You know what I mean? And it's pretty fucking dope.
Yeah,
You know?
It's a satire. If you've never seen those original Mars Attacks cards, have you seen those?
Yeah.
They're horrific.
Yeah.
They're horrific.
Yeah.
Look them shits up. Look them shits up.
Yeah.
They're really savage and they're really dark.
And it's weird too because he was doing a lot of different shit. You know, like experimental, like with Mars Attacks. Ed Wood was kind of random. I remember when Ed Wood came out. Later on, it came out when I was kind of young. I'm like, this ain't Edward Scissorhands. This ain't Batman. This beautiful. What the fuck is this? I don't want to watch
Ed
this.
Wood. I mean,
but
not
I watched
Ed
it
Wood.
later, and it's a biopic with the kooky twist on it. You know, and
you know what I totally forgot? I forgot Sweeney Todd.
Sweeney Todd was good.
Good.
I think that's a good movie too. When I first saw it, I was like, that's pretty brutal, but not my thing.
Excellent.
Now going back and watching it again, it's not that bad. Like all of his movies kind of have that, like going back in the second
has
viewing,
a Cronenberg ending, big time.
I'll be honest,
It's that
like
bad.
he's always done like whimsical dark. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But with
Absolutely.
Ed Wood, like the dark part was like really dark.
Genuinely dark.
Really dark.
Really dark. I was like, whoa.
And then a Sleepy Hollow was Hammer Time, baby. You know, he's like, I'm gonna make a Hammer
Sleepy
movie.
Hollow.
You know?
Oh, that was also a banger. That was a
In the new
banger.
Beetlejuice, there's little scenes in there where he's like, oh, I'm taking this horror genre out of this type of international style. I don't want to spoil what it is for you.
I'm trying to figure out which
You put
movies
that in
Brian's talking about being bad. Like,
Let's see. Dark Shadows.
I was about to say Dark
Alice in
Shadows. I kind of liked it.
Wonderland.
I kind of low key
I
liked
kind
Dark
of
Shadows.
liked it too. I thought it was kind
I was like, why? I kind of like this, and I know it should be better. I don't know. It could have been better,
It's a
but
guilty
I low-key
pleasure.
liked it. Yeah,
I mean,
Dumbo.
it was
Dumbo,
funny.
I
It
kinda
was
like
more
Dumbo
funny
too,
than
though.
it
I
was
kinda like-
serious.
I kind of like Dumbo too. Like it wasn't that bad. Michael Keaton was in there too. He was a villain.
I've never
And
seen
Danny
that
DeVito
one.
was in there. No, it was pretty good. I mean, I'm sorry.
Charlie and the
It wasn't that-
Chocolate Factory.
I hated
I
that
like
movie.
Charlie
but
and the Chocolate Factory.
I
Planet
hated
of
that
the
one.
Apes.
But after watching Charlie like 3 or 4 times, because my kids like it. I mean, it's nothing compared to Gene Wilder's, you know. But it's okay.
Planet of the Apes. Yes, the fucking script was kind of shitty, but dude, I think he's always been about like the scenery and the character design. You
visual
know what I'm
yes,
saying?
Yes,
And
yes. He's a visual
if you look
stylist.
at that,
Yeah.
like fucking Planet of the Apes was a fucking it was a
dope.
win in my you know what I'm saying? Like it was
That's just Tim Roth, man. He just
But it's
sold it
just
for
a
me, man.
bad.
dude, him
sold in
and
there.
dude, it was like everything in there was just like
bad.
it was so creative though. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
know.
it was
No,
like,
visual,
even the scenery and
It's
it like
like
2 apes
Furiosa
banging
for
and
me.
then a human goes through there and they're like,
It was pretty
"Ah,"
metal
you know
too,
what I'm
dude.
saying?
Like you're not gonna get Planet of the Apes like that ever. Like you're never gonna
No.
get like that
Or
metal
it's-
dark.
yeah,
gothic
and here's
Planet
the
of
thing,
Apes. You're
too.
never
And
gonna
here's
get
the
it.
thing,
It looks
too.
good too. It looks really good.
And here's the
Yeah.
thing too. And here's the thing too. Mark Wahlberg, boring as fuck. I was hoping they would cast. I thought Kurt Russell would be perfect.
Oh yeah.
But then
dude,
it's
come
like
on.
if you can't get Kurt Russell, fuck it, Schwarzenegger that shit.
Oh dude.
Nah,
had
no, I wouldn't.
Schwarzenegger in
I
that,
don't
and
think
he
I'd
was
like
fucking- and he was
Schwarzenegger.
fucking them up. Yeah, and doing and I mean like going
Yeah.
fucking commando.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
not
yeah,
Tim
yeah.
Burton's
That would be
style,
dope.
though. You know what I'm
I
saying?
know that's what
not
I'm
his
saying.
thing.
Yeah,
But it
no,
would be
but
cool, you know.
But you got to figure, like he managed to make Mark Wahlberg interesting.
Yeah. Because he came off of Fear, remember? So let me in the house. Remember that movie, Fear?
Well, yeah, and fucking Boogie Nights.
That was a
That Boogie
fucking
Nights,
stupid ass movie. I hated that movie.
I think he was in
Not
Planet
Boogie
Apes
Nights.
before
I'm talking
Boogie.
about
Boogie Nights
Fear.
is the shit.
No, I'm talking about Fear. I didn't like.
Well,
Yeah, Fear. No, I was whacked.
I watched
That was
maybe
whacked.
5 minutes of that and was like,
Dude,
yeah,
I was
I'm
about to
out.
tell you guys, and I'm glad I remembered, because we were talking about Morbius and like what I didn't like about that show, and then there was that other show, Grimm, where they CGI Grimm's
Oh, that
cool
was
and all, but
stupid.
like the faces are always CGI. I don't like that, the monsters. Well, anyways, I was watching this movie called Howl, this werewolf movie. I don't know if you guys have seen it.
Oh,
Yeah,
it was pretty good.
It's pretty good. And like the CGI
like it.
didn't bother me in the faces. They would CGI the faces. I'm like, but this shit don't bother me though. This shit's pretty dope.
I think they
Yeah.
used the combination of it, didn't they?
They did.
Like of
Right,
CGI and traditional. That's when
Mhm.
it always works out. When you try to
It-
just
yep.
do one, it never works the way you think it's going to work.
And if you
I
switch
know.
it back and forth,
I
like keep
know.
switching it just for fun. Like Guillermo del Toro said he was doing that a lot with Hellboy just to fuck with people so they
Yeah.
wouldn't know what. He's like, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
'cause
CGI
he
the
was-
hand right here.
Yes.
I don't need to, but I'm
See-
gonna do it.
Yeah.
Just because
Yeah.
just to fuck with you. Same thing with the tail.
CGI
Like,
works
here,
best
and I'm
when
like,
it's complementing traditional. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
When you don't notice it,
yes, yeah.
that's when it's best. Is
Or
when you
tricking
don't
people,
notice
you know?
it.
It's
Yeah,
a trick.
exactly.
If you're gonna trick, like you obviously use it to erase wires and stuff, you know, and things like that.
yeah.
But I mean, if you're gonna, but I don't know if you don't have to use it, if you don't have to trick people either, I probably wouldn't do it.
The
probably go
troll
full
supermarket, the troll market in Hellboy
Golden
2
Army?
is one of the dopest things ever.
Dude,
Yeah.
his
One of the
Hellboy
dopest
movies.
things ever.
Yeah.
Well, I thought he did a fantastic job with Pan's Labyrinth. But after seeing
Yeah. Oh,
that's
Hellboy,
great,
I was
too.
like, dude, I was like, fucking.
He kind of came over and like took out Tim Burton, dude. Like made all
Yeah,
his
he
dark
did.
shit.
Absolutely.
As far as I'm
Did you
concerned.
see his horror series on Netflix?
Oh, dude, I want to watch it. You know,
Dude, it's good. The intro is badass.
The Panos Cosmatos episode is
man, I gotta check this shit out.
phenomenal. Is phenomenal.
I got some bad news, man. I don't think
What?
that new Hellboy movie is going to get to theaters. They're only playing it. They're only playing it in theaters in other countries because it's supposed to be announced this month, and it ain't going to happen. And they're already getting reviews, and they say it's the shit. Like most of the fans are
Really?
going to love it, but normal people are just going to be like, "What the fuck is this?"
My old lady was telling me like they
That's
usually yank
encouraging.
movies out of the theaters whenever like they're not doing so well and they're
Yeah.
supposed. And she was
Yeah.
telling me like they yanked Deadpool out of the theaters early. Like,
What?
Yeah, like I don't think. Yeah, it got
Bullshit.
yanked like last week or something like that. Yeah,
No shit.
I think
Well,
so.
I
I
mean-
mean, double check, but I'm pretty sure they
You
did.
know what? You know what? That's like on the one hand, that sounds fishy. At the same time, shit is so weird right
But
now.
then it's Hollywood
Yeah.
too. Like you don't play ball and
Hollywood.
you decide to go. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah, because they were mad about the fucking no Captain Marvel cameo, no She-Hulk.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
And
really?
evidently, this is what I think happened. Just from what I've heard, is that they shot scenes with them to humor them.
Yeah,
and then X'd it out.
And then it's cut out, and then they're like, okay, but you'll be in the director's cut.
Yeah. You know,
then they just dropped, sorry, you're not even going to be in the director's cut. So, in other words, they had to humor these fucking people.
Yeah. Because, dude, from everything I heard, everything sounded like the shit, right? They brought Wesley Snipes. People were like begging for Wesley Snipes to come back as Blade.
Dude, that was the biggest pop in the theater when I saw
everybody
it.
Everybody knows they want a Blade movie. They're just being little bitches. Like it's not hard to write.
We're not going to get it.
It's not hard to write a Blade movie.
Why?
It's badass.
Because the people want it.
Yeah,
they're not gonna let Wesley play Blade anyway.
No, never. And he could easily do it. Like in the movie, he's like jump kicking and doing all the spins. Like, what up, dog? I got it still.
Look. You know how jaded and cynical I am when it comes to this shit. And the reason I actually went to see it was because Phil told me, like, not only is Wesley in it as Blade, but he's in like a good 20, 25 minutes of the movie. Like he's actually like important to the plot. And I was like, all right. And then I went to see it, and honest to God, I hadn't had this feeling watching a movie in the longest time. When he fucking walked out, fucking goosebumps, man. Goosebumps like a fucking motherfucker.
Well, everybody was saying, like,
hell yes.
Especially the black audiences were like, yeah, you know, like they were saying like the whole theater's fucking erupted when they see Snipes come out as Blade.
Everybody knows. Everybody knows.
It's never going to happen. You know? It's never going to happen.
I don't think it's going to happen.
Well, they had a big internet thing where they were like, you know, we want Wesley and Blade, and Wesley's like, oh, y'all crazy.
Wesley or
like,
bust.
No, we ain't crazy.
Wesley or bust. Dude, I was down with Mahershala Ali. I was like, okay, well, it's a good actor, right? But after now, nah. Team Wesley.
Well, they're saying the casting is saying that he's too old to play Blade.
Bullshit.
But then they're like, well, what about your boy playing Wolverine? Like he's almost 60, dude.
Age,
you know what I'm saying? And fucking Ryan Reynolds isn't a spring chicken either. You know,
spin kicking in the air, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I thought like he's looking pretty fine. Like, okay to me.
Wait. Matt was about to say he's looking pretty fine. Did you catch that just now? Like I
did. Looks fine to me.
All right,
he's looking pretty fine.
We need to take this we need to take this conversation off the fucking air because I just need to fucking just at least bullshit with you guys without worrying about the fucking camera. But Matt, tell these people where they can find you.
You guys can find me on X at Runecutter Comic. If you guys want, you can check out my book, Butch Cleaver. It's a gothic horror western. I have issues 1 and 2 at butchcleaver.com. And if you guys want to check out my channel, it's Metal Movies and Brewskis, where I do comic book reviews right now. And I do a live show on Saturday night called Metal Movies and Brewskis Live. We talk about that and monsters and a bunch of different mayhem. So check it out. And that's that's Eastern Standard Time. And Brian, thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it, bro.
Oh, dude, thank you for being here. And you, sir, what do you have to say for yourself?
Nikki the Pipe on X, and that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, and brace yourselves, people. Brace yourselves for fucking Hell Night, because it's gonna be the shiznit. And so next week I'm thinking there's like 3 movies that I'm kind of like juggling in my mind. One is Wreck, that's on Tubi now. The other one is the remake of The Blob, and then there's Return of the Living Dead Part 3. I'm thinking, Preston, if Homeboy here has not seen
dude, you're in for
Return of the Living Dead 3, we should do Return of the Living Dead 3.
You know, I almost wish I was Matt right now.
Right.
I know. See that for the first
I know.
Yeah, no,
I know. Yeah, hell yeah. No,
like, that's how good that movie is, though. Like it's
yeah.
Well, dude, I heard 2 is good too. My buddies told me 2 is a shit. So I got my other buddies, and then I got like Brian, like, don't watch it. So this is a perfect example of I don't listen to anybody.
You watch it for free.
Watch it for 5. Remember we were talking about that earlier, guys?
Yeah. Watch it for 5 10, 15 minutes. But if you paid fucking like good money to get into a movie theater like I did to see that shit, you would be mad.
Oh, yeah. It ain't that bad. It's not that bad.
It is. Yeah, it is.
I'll just sit there and just like munch on my popcorn aggressively.
Yeah. We'll just watch
my feet till I leave.
Yeah. Well, dude, now the great thing is you can fucking watch most of this shit on fucking streaming, and a lot of it fucking free streaming. So
it's true. Or you could go watch it for $5 when it comes out. It's like or you can rent, or you get it for 20.
Yeah. But yeah, so next week we're gonna do Return of the Living Dead part fucking Trace.
Hey, did y'all know there's a movie out called Cocaine Werewolf?
No,
It wouldn't shock me. It wouldn't surprise me.
I know there's Cocaine Bear, but I want to watch Wolf Cop.
And Wolf Cop, so it would be like a hybrid
dope
between the two.
Yeah.
Friends don't let friends watch fake cult movies. You know, Wolf Cop is never going to be as good as Werewolves on Wheels. You know this deep in your heart. You know this deep in your heart. Watch the dope shit first. Watch the dope shit first.
I did see that one. That one was pretty solid. Solid.
Yeah. We did that. We did that on the horror movie club. But anyway, everybody, thank you so much for hanging out. We really genuinely appreciate you. If you want to do your boy a solid, smash that like button, smash the subscribe, and ring a ding ding dong on the bell for notifications. And until next week,